What's up, guys? I'm going to be doing live streams. I'm going to be doing this more often, and I'm going to actually announce it.
Nice. Hey, do you mind if I share this live stream on like my social or anything like that?
Go ahead.
Go for it.
Don't mind? Cool.
Because when you present this argument, man, this is why people have distinct.
Did Bongo the chimp share his banana with another chimp? Is that what you mean by morality? Okay.
I mean, does a snake talk?
Well, I mean, if evolution's true and we all came from a single cell, technically, isn't that pond scum that we come from?
Pond scum is pond scum. A single-celled organism is a single-celled organism.
At the end of the day, the evidence is not. I mean, we might just have to agree to disagree on that, but
Yeah, I mean, we're going to. I mean, for one, you give yourself away with the pond scum evolution thing. You are proving to be exactly like Matt Powell.
Well, don't we come from pond scum?
All right, yeah. Show me. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to The Rage. Happy New Year. I wasn't going to do this. I told myself all night I wasn't going to do this, and I failed utterly. John's going to be so disappointed. What's up, chat? What's up, everybody? What's up, y'all? Yes, for some of you, it's not New Year yet. You're still stuck in 2020, so I might as well give you some rage to bring your 2020 to an end with some shit. And I might as well bring in my new year with some shit, because I'm going to do what I said I wasn't going to do. And I did what I said I wasn't going to do. And that is, I watched the shit tonight. I got bored. I didn't hop the streams like I was planning. I sat here disappointed once again in just human beings for most of the evening. Now, I didn't let it spoil the night completely for me and my child. You know, we did spend a lot of time together tonight. She's been on the phone with her sister. And, you know, considering that she's my only child, I'll let Smokey insinuate whatever the fuck he wants about that. But she's on the phone with her sister right now. And she just watched the ball drop with me. So we got that out, and she's talking her New Year's resolutions about her new YouTube channel, which became an issue tonight. I was kind of surprised. You know, because I've struggled with it, and I haven't allowed it to happen for about a year. And, you know, like, I don't talk about my money issues much, but I guess, you know, me talking about my money issues makes me a grifter. You know, because I think that it's somewhat important, and I've actually encouraged other people, like if they're having money issues right now due to COVID-19, like I am, that they should speak out about that. And it's hard to speak out about that because there's a lot of shame involved in that, you know, because we've all been indoctrinated into this fucked up capitalist system that we fucking live in. I promised you guys a rant. I'm going to be ranting tonight. I'm very fucking angry. Disappointed. You know, I have not been able to work in, I don't know, a month and a half. I mean, I've worked 4 hours a week for a month and a half because the president that idiots like Smokey Saint elected into office, idiots like CJ Cox elected into office, because I heard CJ admit to actually voting for Donald Trump in 2020. Fucking idiot. Didn't vote for him in 2016, so I'm kind of being hyperbolic here, but you're all fucking idiots. Because you voted this inept motherfucker into office, didn't handle the shit right. I have literally, for a month and a half, not made a goddamn dime. But I'm a grifter. I'm a grifter because I've spent 3.5 years building a YouTube channel. I'm a grifter. Whatever. I think it's important for people to talk about it. Because it's not my fault that I'm not making money right now. It's not. It's not my fault that I'm not making money right now. Donald Trump rushed this economy back open before it was ready because this pandemic was real and he thought it was fake. That's why I'm not making money right now. And it took Congress how long to come up with $600? You know, this morning when I woke up and I found out about this stream and I saw the thumbnail, I saw the title of the stream, and you know, John and so many people convinced me not to look at it. Even Sister Sunshine TV, you know, even Sister Sunshine TV was like, hey, dude, in the comment section from earlier stream, like, don't fucking, you know, he's just trying to get your attention, and he is, and he did. Because I told John I wasn't going to watch it, and I watched it anyway. I not all of it. I watched a part of it. Because I sat here and I saw that it was on for hours. You know, I watched a little bit of, I watched a lot of the Math Pick stream that was earlier. Then I watched a little bit of CJ's stream. I watched a little bit of other streams. And I was just sitting here and I'm like, I wanted to see if Lowe was a part of it. That's what I wanted to see. And I guess I came in at the exact right part for that, because I guess Lowe wasn't there for most of the shit about me. But I came in at the right part. And I'm like, if you're going to not have anything to do with it, then you shouldn't have anything to do with it. But Lowe had a lot to do with it. I mean, I saw it with my own eyes and my own ears. You know, I heard a joke as I was watching Will Kincaid stream tonight with Smokey Saint, and they were talking all this shit about me, like I'm this racist. And John Grishala comes in, and Will, I believe it was Will, asked John Grishala, "Hey, John, what's the worst word you can call a black person?" And John said, "Neighbor." As they were literally talking about me being a racist. Literally talking about me being a racist as they're being racist. These are the people that Lowe associates with. I could give two fucks about Lowe. If you're going to associate yourself with somebody that's going to talk shit about me as a parent, why should I want to have anything to do with any of you? And I'm talking to this one guy. I'm talking to Quentin Phipps. Any of these people that are going to associate with Will Kincaid or Smokey Saint. Why do I want to talk to you? Why do I want to have you on my channel? Why? You know, they were literally talking shit about tonight, about me letting my daughter have her own YouTube channel. As if, you know, I'm here on this channel. You know, I saw accusations like I'm trying to make money off of my child. She's got 5 subscribers right now. She's been asking me to do this for a long time. I didn't have money for her birthday, so I gave her my old equipment, and I finally broke down, and she's been super happy about it. Made a little 41-second video today. Just a little introduction to her little channel that she's got. She's so fucking happy about that. She went in her room with her new camera and made 3 videos today. This makes me a bad father. This is negligence on my part. You're going to have this shit on your channel? You're going to have that's your content? That's what you support. That's what you want to represent. I also did a thing that I said I wasn't going to ever do again. I talked to Smokey tonight. I kept my cool. kept my calm. It was really brief. Told him to leave because he didn't really need to be there. Because basically, I was just there to tell this one guy, fuck you, this one guy. Like, why are you having this piece of shit on your fucking channel right after he just got done saying all of this fucking nonsense about me? That's why I was there. And the moment I got to that, this one guy, the little bitch that he fucking is, kicked everybody out of the room because he didn't want to hear that. Well, you wanted to hear from Smokey, though, you little fucking cunt. Didn't you? Pretending like you're some honorable dude. Told y'all I was going to rant a little bit because I'm a little angry. Nah, why do I want you on my channel? Why do I want you to come here talking to me? Why? I don't. Not one bit. Not one bit. Give two fucks about a person that's going to support this shit. In any way. Yeah, I told Lo that same shit. That's me threatening Lo. No, let me tell you about threats. Threats is, when I'm getting some messages from somebody I've never fucking heard of before, talking about how they're bigger and stronger, and we can meet here and we can meet there. That's threats. That's threats. That's what happened after I sent a message like asking Lo, what the fuck is going on with this? I have spent the last 10 years of my life raising my child. I've done it. So yeah, a little rage to start the new year because I'm not going to give him what he wants. I mean, there's this new video and I saw, when I first got into the side chat, somebody saying that I should review it. Because I guess he took months and months on this shit. And I should review it. And that's the struggle with me right now is because that's exactly what he wants me to do. But like me as a father can't let this stand. And he knows that. He's playing on that. And I know he's playing on that. It's an impossible thing for me not to do. That's the conundrum. And I deserve all of it. I do. I chose to start this YouTube channel. I chose to take the route that I chose. I decided I would get in the mud with these fuckers. Bragged about it for quite a while. Wonder why nobody else does. This is probably why. Don't blame them. Don't blame them at all. And the struggle for me right now is do I not respond? Because that's the best option. Just like John has said several times. That's what I should do. But this is my kid. This is my integrity. I live by a code. And it doesn't seem like anybody else does. At least, just not very many people I meet. Integrity is important. Honesty is important. The way you handle yourself is important. And I fully understand that the way that I've handled myself on this channel, by design, this shit was gonna happen. And it has, like, pretty much through the entire time. This is nothing new, and not even the worst of what I've received since I started doing this shit. But it is the one way to get to any parent. It's the one way. If you're truly a good parent and you truly care about your child, and I hope most parents are like that. I think most parents are like that. This is the way to do it. And I don't know. I don't think it's going to work. You know, I'm here raging to you guys right now. I watched it even though I said I wouldn't. I told Smokey I wouldn't watch his stupid fucking video. He really wants me to watch it. And but how could I not? How could I not watch that video? You just don't click on it. That's how. So I don't know. I don't know. Not sure what I'm gonna do. But I know, like, if you can't win the argument about your God without resorting to these tactics, you know, if you're gonna bring in some little shitstorms like Will Kincaid and crew, well, I mean, do I really have to? I don't think I do. I think that says everything right there. It says everything. But I think I do need to apologize to all the people that told me about Will and, like, why do you accept this about him? Why do you allow him to get away with shit? You know, when Will went into Shay's server, and I allowed that shit. And well, I didn't allow it. I wasn't there. I had nothing to do with it. I think I owe them an apology. I don't know. I see it on there. I'll bring you in. I'm sorry, Wilson. What's up? Let me get you on the screen here. Yeah, I always forget to turn off my link. So, what
up? Not much. Happy New Year, my friend.
Hey, Happy New Year. How you doing?
Doing all right. Did you not mean to put the link out there?
Well, I mean, I always forget. I wasn't, I'm not, I'm only just raging and shit. Yeah, it's all good.
No, like, I don't want to interrupt you.
Oh, no, you're fine. Like, I'm pretty much done with my little rant there. But no, yeah, I mean, I'm interested in some perspective on this. I don't know if, I didn't watch the whole stream. I only watched a bit of it, but, yeah, so what's up, man?
Well, admittedly, like, I was in the stream on Will's channel for about 45 minutes because I can't help it. I love spilling tea about Vaughn.
Mm.
Because, the title of the stream was like, who's the worst father of the decade? And it was, Vaughn, G-Man, Rev Shaney, Brett Keane. Then I see you, I'm like, well, that's obviously Smokey.
Yeah, but I got the second most votes.
Well, I mean, because, Brett Keane is basically irrelevant. G-Man, I don't believe for a second that actually has kids.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Like, I've heard something like there's 2 out there that he has nothing to do with, but I don't know how true that is or where I heard it. Or,
yeah, that story with G-Man keeps changing because at first he said he has an autistic daughter and saying like he has a son, but it keeps changing.
Yeah, I don't know how true it is. Yeah, it seems to, like, with everything G-Man, it seems to change. Yeah.
The thing is, like, the funny part with the G-Man is, like, people know a lot about G-Man because when G-Man gets pissed off or when he gets to know people really well, he'll say things about, like, really, really personal shit he shouldn't be saying about, like, his life and his family, like, during a video, and he'll forget about the fact that he's mentioned those things.
Mm-hmm.
And so when people, like, drag review, like, certain stuff that he talks about, he's like, oh, well, these guys must have stole my phone back, like, in the New York trip. And it's like, no. People know about, like people know about like certain aspects of your family and stuff like that because your dumbass said that on the internet.
Well, yeah, and that's you know, like I've been doing this for 4 years, so now like that's what I think of. Like, you know, like in 4 years, have I been fucking in a live stream and that night, like my daughter's mom pissed me off and shit, and I said something on a stream that I can't fucking remember. I don't know. This is what's been driving me crazy.
No, I mean it's the thing is like the best way to get around like Smokey and stuff like that is just ignore him.
Yeah, no, and everybody's telling me that. Like John is gonna be so mad, like when he wakes up tomorrow, he's like, "Fucking Naka, god damn it!" I can hear John already, you know. But I just couldn't help. Like all night, I was sitting here and I saw that little red dot next to Will's name, and I'm like, just fuck. And I knew it was gonna happen, and I ended up going in and fuck. And now it's like, I'm not even mad so much about like the bullshit. What pissed me off was hearing them talk shit about something I put on Facebook, on my personal Facebook page that I'm doing with my daughter right now. That's what got under my skin as fuck. Like they were talking shit about the one thing like she's super happiest the most about right now. You know, it's like, oh, it just got to me. I'm like, fuck this.
I mean,
and then I saw Smokey in the stream, and I saw Red Fang there cussing him out, and I'm like, oh, I can't let Red Fang be the only one in here right now. So
you know what the one thing
so
about
Smokey's actually stalking your Facebook page.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it appears to be. Yeah, I mean, it's really fucking creepy, dude.
The thing is, like, Smokey's one of those types of people who he'll go at anything to try and make a point, and even when he can't, he'll just lie.
Yeah,
right.
Just straight fucking lies, and these people, you know, Will Kincaid's a fucking shitstorm. Like, I get that, but that the rest of them are gonna go along with it, or even just why even have this guy on your fucking channel right after he's getting off of a fucking stream where he's saying all this horrible fucking shit? Like, I don't get it. I don't understand it.
I think a lot of the audience Smokey attracts is the same reason people like G-Man.
Yeah.
Right. It's the reason that Smokey is only good for starting a shitstorm and just being like immensely hypocritical. Like one of Smokey's biggest like talking points is, you know, to stop indulging these trolls and to beware of heretics and stuff like that. Yet, you know,
I mean, the stream on Will's channel earlier today, I had to resist the urge of pointing out the fact that you got Smokey Saint, who is trying to, you know, jump on that whole, like, you know, Von Helton is a horrible fucking person.
Mm-hmm.
When a year ago, Smokey was defending Von.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he was in that whole crowd, like that Brett Keane crowd.
The thing is, like, and it always is laughable, but it's the fact that, like, Smokey will make these outrageous claims about, oh, such and such and such and such is bad at, like, parenting or stuff like that. And it's like, okay, but you've never, like, raised a child, like, to anybody's knowledge.
Right.
So why the fuck are you talking?
Yeah,
like,
I even straight up asked him that one time, and he admitted to me he's never raised a child, but then it went really weird, and he was like, how do you know I've never lost a child? And I'm like, well, did you lose a child? And he was like, I'm not going to answer that. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
Is it a packet of fucking peanuts? Is it your fucking car keys?
That's the thing. Like, Smokey's too much of a bitch because he doesn't really, like, want people to hold him to the same standard he holds other people.
Yeah,
right.
And real quick, I wanted to thank Jessica44. Thank you so much for your really generous donation to the channel, $50. I'm actually not that worried about money anymore. Like, you know, help is on the way and shit. It'll be enough. Like, I'm gonna be able to pay my rent, and we're going back to work on the 16th. It looks like, unless, you know, I got love for Big Gretch, but we better be going back to work on the 16th.
Hey everyone.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Good fucking bye to 2020.
Yeah, I know. Like, wait. You know, I just had to end it shitty. Like, I couldn't just have a fun night like I was planning on doing it. I had to be like, let's end 2020 shitty because, you know, 2020 sucks. Although it didn't really suck all that bad if you think about it, because we are getting rid of Trump. So
Well,
That's the one highlight of the year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm personally an idiot.
but-
I clicked the wrong link. So, Ray,
But-
check your PayPal.
we wouldn't be in
Oh,
this
shit.
fucking situation if it wasn't for fucking Trump to begin with.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. Like,
True.
you know, I'm not. I think that it's really. I think more people should talk about if they're having money issues right now, because we were pushed back into this. Like, I don't think that Michigan would be shut down if we hadn't opened up so early. In fact, I don't think we should have shut down when we did the first time. You should have shut down your major ports of entry and started doing that trace sourcing. But the problem is Trump was calling it a hoax, and he couldn't do that. You know?
Of course he did, because he's a fucking moron. We all know this. This isn't news. Oh, by the way, Pat Robertson, there's something really wrong with the world when Pat Robertson is seemingly a voice of reason.
Yeah.
Pat Robertson told Trump to move on. No joke. It's
Yeah,
on
and-
Telltale's channel.
Yeah, I mean, somebody needs to, because it's getting serious. But yeah, thank you. I'm sorry, Wilson. Yeah, I see that on my PayPal now. I'm totally like I'm feeling a little better. Like it'll be a lot better once I actually pay my rent. My OCD goes crazy on me. That's my main thing. Is my OCD usually compels me to speak about things I normally don't. Like people jump on me because I don't show my links enough and shit. And like, you don't do this YouTube thing good at all. And I'm like, I've known that for 4 years. For 4 years, I still haven't been able to get it into my process to put the fucking link to the videos I'm reviewing in there. You know, like, I suck at this YouTube thing, but like, it's what YouTube is. Like, I don't get the whole argument. Like they're talking about like donate. Like my channel's demonetized. Of anybody on YouTube, I'm making shit here. You know, I do this because I'm obsessed, not because I'm making money from it.
And honestly, like that would be the only like criticism I could give you is like I understand that you're a hothead, and I mean you're the rage.
Yeah,
You've got a bit of temper on. You tend to take things a little bit too personal. Because trust me, like I've had heated conversations with a lot of lulz cows.
Well,
I don't take it personal, because when I step away from the internet, when I go to work, when I run errands, when I cook, these people cease to exist.
Well, yeah.
Right.
I've definitely been at the computer too much these last few weeks. Like Smokey picked the right time to do his shit. Like there's like no distraction for me now. But no, like I usually enjoy the Christians talking about me. This took a turn that it's just I don't enjoy it at all. I don't like it. It's dirty. It makes me feel dirty. And I don't see the need for it. Like let's talk about your God, Smokey. You know, like the one thing in all the conversations that I've had with Smokey Saint, guess what we've talked about the least?
God.
His God. You know, like we don't never talk about that. It's always just his shitty behavior all the fucking time. And that's what, like, I really want to put him behind. Like, I don't want to live stream. I don't want to cover this 40-minute video that I guess he put out today. And he was like, "Have you seen my video?" And I'm like, "No," and I'm not going to watch it. And I probably should.
He's begging for your attention. He's like, "Come on, watch me, watch me."
Yeah, he's literally begging me to watch that fucking video. It's kind of sick. I'm like, no, I'm not. And now, like, if I do, like, because somebody was saying I should review it, so you know somebody's watched it at least. If I do that, then he fucking wins. You know, it's like I'm kind of stuck in a rock and a hard place with him.
No, of course he.
My
he
advice.
wins if you watch that, he wins. That's what he wants.
Yeah, he wins just by even if I don't review it. If I just watch it, he gets what he wants. And that's what fucking sucks about this. Because honestly, I shouldn't care about that. You know, but like my goal with 2021 is to get beyond that. I'm, you know, like I like the dumpster fires. I don't like drama all that much. I don't have drama in my real life. I don't enjoy drama. I like having arguments, right? Like I like arguments. That's what I like. And The drama just gets old and it wears on you. It wears on who you are as a person. I don't enjoy that.
Well,
my advice to you, Knock, would be if you want to kind of like go both ways, do a stream where you're going to review Smokey's video. Watch it for about 10 seconds and say, okay, this shit's boring, and then shut it off and start talking about something else.
That's
just a random topic.
Well, and everybody that says like the best thing to, because he's blatantly a narcissist, right? So like psychologically, the best thing you can do is ignore a narcissist, and not give him the attention he's craving for. But that's the hardest goddamn thing to do. I admit it freely, you know.
What do you expect? His God is a narcissist.
Well, yeah,
Biggest fucking narcissist you ever saw in your entire life.
Yeah, that's true. But like with Smokey, I'm not even sure, because I've talked to a lot of Christians, man. I've talked to a lot of Christians. You know, like I talked to Will. You know, at first I got like this sense like you're really not a Jewish, you don't believe in the Jewish God, because I first met him as an atheist. But over time I'm like, no, yeah, he believes all that stupid shit. I've never really believed that about Smokey, like, because Smokey doesn't really defend his God to me. It's always the petty drama with Smokey. It's never once has it been some serious theological discussion to where I felt like, you know, this is a challenge for me on that regard. Anybody can have a rage fest with the rage. I mean, there's nothing special about that. Like, let's talk about your theology, but it never really goes there.
Well,
no, he just wants to personally attack you and find something to attack you about, like smoking weed or some other dumb shit that he wants to.
Well,
he always thinks everybody smokes weed. It's like, no. He called me a stoner. I'm like, dude, I don't smoke weed.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I
shut
don't
the
even
fuck
smoke
up.
weed. Like, he was accusing me of smoking weed when I went in the room, and I'm like, I'm not even smoking weed right now. But yeah, I do smoke weed, and it's legal in my state. And I'm sorry, but like, I would much rather smoke weed than, I don't know, beat my wife or treat my kid like shit. Like, I don't think that it's the worst thing in the world. I keep my room here where I am at my computer very well ventilated. I pretty much have to, because it's a small room, and if she comes out, I don't want her fucking suffocating on my cigarette smoke. You know?
Well, you know what, Ray? You know what? When he accuses you of that, you tell him that marijuana is a plant, and God gave plants to man.
Like there's new.
He can do the same bullshit that G-Man does, where it's, you know, witchcraft and sorcery and all that.
Yeah, I mean, like, what the fuck is wrong with weed? Like, I don't understand how weed makes you just like bad parent. You know, like, fuck, dude. A lot of people do worse than weed. I don't. Like, I don't even fucking drink anymore. Like, what is the deal?
I mean,
as long as you're not hotboxing in the room with your fucking kid.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like,
for Christ does.
When she comes in here, then I stop smoking. And if I can, like, if I'm not on a live stream, like if I'm on a live stream, I don't get up and just go. But like, I go out on my fucking balcony and smoke. You know, I'm not like, it's not like I'm smoking right in front of my kid, blowing it into her fucking face. You know, like,
I mean, the entirety of that conversation with Smokey should be, oh, you smoke weed. Yeah? So what?
Yeah.
So what? Like, what's
and that's Red Fang will back me up here. That's pretty much what I said to him tonight on Togg's channel. He was like, "You smoke weed?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Like, I mean,
yeah, people do it. So what?
Smokey tried to make a dig at you for your former drinking habits while I'm in the room, and I kind of had to chuckle because for people who know who I am, yeah, I'm a bit of a saucer.
Well, yeah, and I admit I was a fucking drunk, dude. Like, how many streams? I can't even watch a lot of my old streams. I go back to watch a lot of my old streams, like make some like short videos from my old streams, and it's like facepalm. I'm like, God damn, I was drunk as fuck.
Oh yeah. And by the way, you know who gives me the most shit about that? Other atheists.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
I've got a long-standing rivalry with Billy from the Geek Room. He makes fun of my alcoholism. I make fun of the fact that he can't read.
Well, you can also point out when they bring that up, you can also point out that Jesus turned water into wine. Not that I believe that shit, but
I do point that out quite a bit. Like that, I think that's for me is like the most compelling argument of the Bible. Like Jesus was totally a wino, totally. Like, I mean, I wish I could, like back in my alcoholic days, if I could turn water into Captain Morgan, man, I would have been in heaven. But all I do now is smoke weed, and I smoke weed mainly because I want to I want to be 100% just smoke free and healthy, and I've struggled with the cigarettes. The cigarettes is what I really need to stop smoking. That's what I need to stop immediately. But like with the weed, I don't think I ever can because of my chronic fucking pain. Like I'm not taking the pills anymore because the pills were making me all loopy as fuck there for a while. So like weed is all I got for my fucking shit. Aspirin don't do it.
Well, I think it's kind of dishonest to like call people like Smokey Saint or G-Man or, fucking Nephilim Free or any of these fucking yahoos on fucking YouTube Christians.
Yeah.
Because that's not what I picture when I, put the image of my head of a Christian. I imagine my grandmother.
And that's the sad thing because like most of the normal Christians that really need this conversation that we're having here on the internets are the people that aren't really watching the conversations here on the internet. It is your grandma, my aunt, like she don't give a fuck about what we're saying here on the internet, but yet, she would be on that fence. I think it would be a lot easier to convince her because they don't go through their lives making this their 100% every goddamn thing. I don't even really think they care about gay people anymore. Back in the day probably, but now it's like, it's not that big of a deal to them. To where here on YouTube, it is a really big deal. I just recorded the new NIFB movie trailer. It is fucking atrocious. It is horrible, and I'll be coming out with that really, really fucking soon.
Well, that's a different topic because I do think that people
should discuss. Is that the atheist religion?
No.
The atheist religion was just a waste of time.
No, this is about sodomites. This is horrible. They put it out today. They put out the movie trailer today.
Oh shit! You know what? They don't even know what they're talking about with that because, even according to their own damn book, and this is what I can't understand. They don't even read their own damn book. Okay, God supposedly, and I don't believe this shit, but they do. God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, right? But you know why he destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah? It wasn't because of the homosexuality that was going on. It was because they were breaking the laws of hospitality.
Yeah, that's.
Well, there's a lot of speculation out there, and I had the conversation with Dr. Josh. And the main problem with this is we don't have the original Hebrew text. We only have the second or third copies of it. So nobody really knows what was on the original Hebrew text. So there's a lot of theories out there that God, in all of the passages when it comes to homosexuality, was actually talking about very specific incidents and not homosexuality as a whole. And the gist of this new movie is basically, like, hey, 30 years ago here in America, we hated gay people and we don't anymore. And we need to go back to that. It's really, really bad. And it's the NIFB. And that's, that's the important ago, we hated focus. Black people. Yeah. I mean, that's the important focus of the channel, not Smokey Saint and what he's saying about like my kids and shit. But it as a father, it's just really hard to ignore this shit. Like, and John understands completely, but he's usually my main voice of reason, because he's the one saying, "Dude, you can't respond," and I'm like, "But I gotta."
If he was just talking about you, then okay, fine. But when he because he's indirectly attacking your kid because he's attacking your kid's mother and how you parent. You don't do that, dude. And that's what I told him when I went in there. I'm like, look, whatever your beef is with Knock, you take it up with him. You don't drag other people into this. What the fuck are you doing? And fucking Universal Artisan and fucking the side chat doesn't seem to get it either. Like, he's like, oh, well, you know, Knock's putting his kid in harm's way by letting her have a YouTube channel, and that's Smokey was touching on that. I'm like, it's not a Smokey's business why Knock let his kid have a YouTube channel. First of all, there's a YouTube Kids thing. Second of all,
so how am I putting my child in danger with YouTube? I don't understand. There's a whole fucking kids thing on YouTube. That's
YouTube Kids fucking thing.
It's not like I'm not letting my daughter come onto my YouTube channel and talk right now.
Somebody's got an echo, like really, really bad echo.
Somebody's got an echo.
That might be me. Is it me?
I'm not sure.
I think
it could just be. It could be just be a StreamYard thing because StreamYard has been really goofy with that lately.
I'm not using I'm on just my laptop. I'm not using my camera.
It's you.
Hi, Leo. Happy New Year.
Hey, Leo. Happy New Year.
Do you have a playback, Marty?
What I can say is,
I don't think so.
all I can say is New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year. You know.
Yeah, you know, New Year.
What's up, Leo?
No, like I said, I
Thank
told
God
you.
2020 is in the rearview mirror almost.
Well, it's
not for
me.
everybody. Yeah, not for Leo yet.
It's not 3 a.m. yet.
No, it's only 9:47 here. I did say almost.
Are you in like fucking California or something?
I'm in Oregon.
Oh, fucking hippie.
Yeah, liberal bastion of America. That's like I've got like 4 friends in Oregon. It's like, hey, move here, and I'm like, I can't because
know.
Michigan sucks with their custody agreements.
Aren't I lucky to be in Oregon? You know, I mean, but I used to live in Alabama, and that really.
I probably don't even have
Down
like
there in
half of
Alabama.
y'all. Yeah, I don't even have half of y'all on the screen. So let me get you guys on here. All right.
Hey, Universal Artisan, you know who's been sending him who used to send him death threats? Fucking Christians. Christians were the ones that were sending him death threats. Christians, loving Christians.
I almost. Or, yeah, Universal Artisan.
Yeah, you've got an echo.
I am getting an echo.
Yeah.
It's
Hold on,
Marty. I see her bubble lighting up. Put in a
My
pair of
husband-
headphones if you've got them.
I am, but maybe you're picking up. Maybe the mic's picking up my husband watching TV in the.
It's definitely
All right, so-
not the TV.
Let me make this clear. My information is not public. My name is, the town I live in is, but my information is not public. I never made my information public. On my personal Facebook page, you aren't going to find my public information. You're not going to. So, I mean, this whole thing, like, so my daughter's channel has nothing to do with my channel. My daughter's channel is one of thousands of kids' channels on the YouTubes right now. It's not named after her. There is no way, unless you ask me for the link to her channel, you will ever get her channel.
Can you give that to me on Twitter, by the way?
I saw your request, Leo. And yes, people that I do trust, yes, I will. Please, I want people to help build up my daughter's channel, but not so for some monetary gain, because I don't even know how that works with fucking kids. I don't know. This is what she wants to do. I fought against it for a fucking year, but who am I to tell her, no, you can't do what the fuck you want to do? No, as a parent, I should be like encouraging her on what she wants to do. But they don't understand that because they don't have fucking kids.
Well, of course not. And I love how like Will and Smokey did this stream. Not only are neither of them parents, I don't think either of them would make good parents to begin with. Like
Will's wife is pregnant, isn't she? Will's wife's pregnant.
Whose wife? Will is
Will's
married.
wife pregnant?
Will is married. Will is married.
I think his
Will
wife is pregnant.
Yeah,
is
Yes.
married.
Yes,
Yeah.
Leo. I think she's pregnant. I think
But
I
I
saw
don't know.
something on Facebook about
Is this
about
like a mail order wife from like Vietnam or?
Gonna bring out,
she's kind of cute.
that's
she's
gonna bring
kinda
out
cute.
some innate Christianity in me, Marty. I'm like, God
Anyway,
help the
I-
world.
I would.
I know, right?
That's why I asked about Matt's wife. Is she mail order from Russia or something?
No, Matt's wife
is cute.
If you're bringing up
Matt's wife,
you're talking about Vaughn.
Matt's wife is that's a
would
Steven
marry Matt
Anderson
Powell?
connection. Steven Anderson hooked up Matt Powell with his wife.
She's
Wait,
cute.
are you saying who's cute?
Matt Powell's wife. She's cute.
Oh, guys, I'm cute.
Well, I mean, she's cute on the outside. I'll give you that, Marty. But I mean, she's just as
she's probably
fucking.
hateful.
She's just as bad as Matt on the inside. Trust me.
Yeah, I'll bet she is. I'll bet she is.
Really,
telepathically beam me some alcohol because I need more of it.
Do you know who's really cute? Have you seen Knock?
Yes.
Who?
You seen who?
That's not who came to my mind. But I mean, sure, yeah.
Have you seen those little cherub cheeks he has? He's got some granny pinchers.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out who I'm Sorry Wilson is. The voice on.
Dude, you've never seen
the
I'm Sorry.
volleyball.
I'm Sorry Wilson is everywhere. For one,
Yeah,
you're thinking about the Tom Hanks movie, right?
Well, of course, Castaway. Yeah, who would be thinking of something other than that?
But I mean,
Unless you're
I'm
stupid.
Sorry Wilson is everywhere. I mean, you're talking old
my
school
first-
now.
This is so Rage. I wanted to ask you what. So who are you debating on MDD
Well,
on Wednesday?
I'm not sure because James said that that interlocutor was really flaky. So what it's looking at right now is that it's going to be me and Jim Majors. We just lost. Oh, all right, Marty's having some issues. It's going to be me and Jim Majors versus some Christians on atheism versus Christianity. I'm just not sure on the Christians yet. Yeah.
Dude, I was supposed to debate Rick Delano, who's he's a guy, on the subject, does quantum mechanics point to a creator? I got a hard on when that topic got suggested. I'm just gonna be honest, I got a little bit of a chub. And his one, I don't know if you call him his secretary or what, couldn't get a hold of him. So apparently now I'm debating some Robertson Genis. Steve McRae told, because he heard about this debate. He's the one that was actually setting, because he said, I know you know physics and Rick's looking for a debate, so he set that up with me. So I said to him, I'm debating some Robertson Genis, and he said actually his name's bigger than Rick's is, and we're debating is the Earth at the center of the universe, which I agreed to it just because they were gonna. If I had said no, James was going to find somebody else, and as conceited as this may sound, I was like, I don't think anybody else is going to be able to do a really good job. But it seems much more of a boring topic.
I'd like to get Mortimer's opinion on that.
Mortimer?
Yeah,
His opinion on what?
his opinion on if the Earth is the center of the universe.
Well, the universe doesn't have a
I know,
center.
I know that, Leo. I know the universe doesn't have a center, but you know,
they'll probably make that really weird argument that everywhere in the universe is the center of the universe, and that's just like really weird to me. I don't get that.
Well, that is technically true.
Yeah, I know, but I don't understand
the universe
it.
is expanding from any point that you're measuring it from.
Yeah, and I just don't get it. I'm like, I understand that it's the truth, but fuck, I don't understand it.
Well, no, the universe does have a center. It's called Azathoth.
I don't know what that means.
10 points if you get the reference.
I lost 10 points because I don't.
It's Lovecraft.
I don't know what that is.
H.P. Lovecraft. He wrote the
Cthulhu.
Now, if you want to talk George R.R. Martin, I'm down.
Oh, Leo, we are going to set something up for some time within the next couple weeks for the debate between you and Knock.
Yeah, I'm almost ready for it. I think
I'm going to do terribly in this debate because most of what I talk about when it comes to Game of Thrones is not Game of Thrones. It's A Song of Ice and Fire. There's a difference.
Yeah.
One is the TV show, one is the book series. And in the book series, Dany is still alive and hasn't even gotten to Westeros yet. So I'm going to perform quite poorly in this debate.
Stan is still alive. Correct?
Well, and usually I would probably do the same. So like I'm going to be arguing for a position that really isn't my own position. but based on the TV series, I can argue it. So, but based on the books, I can't.
That's what I'm going on is TV series because everybody's relatively at least more familiar with the show.
Because I'm with Leo on the books. Like I'm really hoping Martin.
Daddy killed all those innocent little children. I'm just over here like, man.
I'm hoping Martin takes the right route. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about you guys. This was years ago. I looked up a debate on between King Crocoduck and Kent Hovind.
Oh my God, I have that on a playlist. It's not even a debate.
I've heard about this debate, but I haven't watched it.
It is a fucking dumpster fire.
There's 3 parts.
It is so fun. I know almost nothing about astrophysics, and I was facepalming the hell out of my face.
There's 3 parts, and it's just, I don't even call it a debate because that's just, it's,
It was Kent Hovind's Astrophysics Education Hour.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
And the really, really sad thing about it is that Kent didn't even know he didn't know what the fuck he was talking about.
Are you trying to tell me that Kent Hovind knows about as much of astrophysics as he knows about filing taxes?
See, the thing is that they've been told. Go ahead, Wilson.
For as much as I like modern day debate, the last debate I watched was between Nephilim Free and I want to say her name is Amy Newman.
Oh yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
Where is
I can't listen enough. Talk.
The topic was, is anti-theism rational?
Something like that.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of anti-theists. I think they're too contrarian.
See, I think I'm slipping back into my anti-theism, and it's just because I don't trust any theist outside of Marty.
The thing is,
I was gonna say you're not an anti-theist. You're still friends with me.
The thing with Nephilim is it's hard to listen to him talk, but it's even harder to listen to him whistle.
I can't listen to Neff talk. I get 2 minutes. I say I can't listen to him talk.
I don't think many people got my joke.
So
no,
he whistles through his teeth.
Yes, he
whistles. Oh, he
does.
He.
Well, yeah, I always thought he was I always thought he was this super old, mountain hillbilly dude because of the way he whistles through his teeth. Because that's how the mountain folk in the Appalachians in North Carolina, where I grew up, that's how they talked. And I'm yeah, this dude is super old. He has no front teeth. And then when I figured out he was basically my age, I'm no fucking way, no way. But yeah.
Is he really? Because he looks way older than us, Knock. Because I'm only 2 months older than you.
I don't know what his age is, but he's not as old as I thought he was.
He's in his late 50s, 56, 57.
And he is older than us.
Yeah, no.
What are you talking about? Our age?
I feel old, Marty. I'm an old
Stop
man.
it, for fuck's sake.
Marty, how old are you?
She's 23.
I'm 2 months older than Knock. I'll be 44 in June.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I probably would have guessed maybe mid-30s.
Thank you, Leo.
34 or 35.
She looks
34, the same age as my future wife.
She looks like she's 18, honestly.
Dude, I drink a lot of water and I take naps and I don't go in the sun unless it's necessary. So
I used to have a baby face, but it only works when you're
my
thin.
future wife looks 13. That sounds really bad.
But you can't. You literally can't. I don't think it's possible to have a baby face still when I'm bald and most of my beard is not even gray. It's white now.
Dude, I started going gray in my mid-30s. I have so much gray hair. It's crazy. When my hair is short.
I'm getting gray in my beard, and the only the plus for that is I have to wear a mask at work, so no one can see that I look like a fucking Ewok.
When I was
But Knock, you've seen my hairline. I've showed you my hairline. Yours is stronger than mine.
Yeah,
mine's still pretty good.
30,
I got the male pattern baldness, so I've still got a bit of a hairline, but I got spots in my head that are just bald.
I'm getting the cul-de-sac.
Cul-de-sac.
When I was 30, I got carded, and I was like, "Are you for real?" And
yeah, I get carded too.
The cashier was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Bless you."
Yeah, same thing. I don't get offended. You can card me all you want to, sweetheart. Here you go. Here's my ID.
There's only one person in the stream younger than me. Mutiny, where are you at? What are you doing? He's probably not even.
I always forget that Immutable is as young as he is because that dude is like the smartest dude I've ever spoken to.
No shit.
The thing is, like, I don't even try usually too hard as creationist, but certain times it's like, just explain how your methodology works. Just like entertain me. Like I want to know.
Entertain me.
It's just like, please let me pretend to be as autistic as you are for like 5 minutes.
What's wrong with autistic people, Mutiny?
Yeah.
Why are
I'm
you
autistic,
insulting
I'm
us
allowed-
autistic people? We're not like creationists. We're not that dumb.
autistic. I'm allowed to make that joke.
I'm gonna get real
I-
controversial. I think I'd rather be autistic than OCD.
Well, they're
Well, they kind of are.
depending on the type of autism, they're like one and the same. You
like
ain't
I said,
getting
like
one without the other.
the cancellation of Nakasuchi has truly begun. So,
Like there are sometimes
I
there
hate
are
my
sometimes
OCD. I fucking hate it with every soul, every fiber of whatever soul a soul is. I hate it with all of that.
Are you a hand washer? Are you a hand washer door locker type knock or?
Yes, and I also count lines nonstop. If there's a line, I count it. So,
You would hate the hardwood floors in my house. Well, not my house.
I surround myself with carpet. So,
if I had to pick one, I would have to choose. Like I would turn down my OCD rather than my autism, because like my OCD, it fucking kills me. Like I have to check 5 fucking times to make sure my alarm is set.
I'm the same way, dude.
I can vibe with that.
I will go. I will check my coffee machine 15 times before I leave to work. I will get all the way to work, and I will convince myself I left my coffee machine on, and have to come all the way back home. I live a half an hour away from my work, you know. And my boss is like, "God damn it, Ronnie! Again, you know it's off." And I'm like, "I know it's off, but it's on."
Well,
I'm the same way.
Yeah, I
Go
don't.
ahead,
When I work because I work the 3 to 9 shift mostly, and I work at a place that does daycare and like boarding and stuff for dogs. So a couple years ago, the person who's now our groomer left a client dog outside, and I got in trouble for it. I didn't walk this dog. He did, but I got written up and almost fired for it. So now I have such complete anxiety when I close. I have anxiety anyhow, but when I close, I don't sleep until I hear from the morning shift. So maybe I'll sleep for like an hour, check my phone, see what time it is. The morning shift comes in at 6. And I'm like, is everything okay? And everybody's like, yeah, everything is fine. Go the fuck to sleep, because I have such anxiety. Like I'll trade a little bit of get rid of a little bit of the anxiety. I have like mild OCD, and I'd rather have a little bit more OCD than the anxiety, because I don't like. I pick at my since I was like 5. I pick at my fingers, like. Yeah, see, yeah.
Really? You pick at your finger.
Yeah, constantly. Like, and then since I was a kid, I used to bite. The reason I'm addicted to chapstick is because I would bite my lips so bad that, like, because my lips just get dry, but I would bite so bad I get,
pull the skin off.
Yeah, so then my dad got me chapstick, and after I stopped eating the cherry chapstick and started using it, I'm like, oh, this is so much better now. But yeah, the anxiety, try anxiety, that blows.
My OCD is with like studying. Like I'll research something, like read it over like 20 fucking times and be like, all right, so this is what it means, except it's not what it means. Let me go check one more time.
Yeah, I do that too. Like, and I will start studying and I won't stop until like my brain literally makes me stop. Like I'll look at the clock and like it's like 10 hours later and I'm like, fuck,
or you're on a Wikipedia article and you're reading, right? And I'm sure we've all probably experienced this.
Yeah.
And then like 6 hours later, you're reading about the mathematics of quantum neutrino fields when you started. You started with something to do with stars, and now you're like so fucking far into the abstractions of reality. You're just like.
Yeah,
and you're sitting there like,
down the rabbit hole.
The funny
Down
thing
the
is,
rabbit hole.
for me, sitting there, it's like that. If you've ever, and I'm gonna get somewhat racy here. If you've ever masturbated to something and then you kind of like sit there like in shame once you're done, like, did I really just masturbate to that? Like, that's me after I like go on a Wikipedia binge. It's like, how did I get here? Like, I feel so dirty. I feel like Wikipedia just violated me for the last 4 hours.
So
Every way.
I don't want to interrupt, but Marty brought up that she is a dog groomer. Look at
I'm not a groomer. I work at a place that does grooming.
Okay, well, look at my icon. Look at that.
Can't really.
The majestic beast.
Is that your puppy?
That's my puppy.
Oh, puppy. Is that Palmer? No, what the fuck? Papillon, right?
Long-haired Chihuahua.
Long-haired Chihuahua. Oh, cutie face.
She is the yippiest little bitch you've ever met in your life.
Wait, to Chihuahua. What did you expect?
I had a Feist growing up, a cousin to a Chihuahua.
I know what those are.
That little bastard was a devil.
Yeah, so is mine.
Yeah, I love learning. I mean, sometimes when I'm reading,
Merlin,
I will forget to eat and forget to drink, and somebody's gonna have to bring me out of my reverie from my reading because I'm like, wait a minute, it's 3 hours have passed. It seems like only 10 minutes have passed.
Yeah.
When I was in school. Go ahead, Leo.
Do you want to know what I was doing before I entered this stream? I was watching MIT lectures on fucking quantum mechanics. Oh shit! It just turned 12:07. New Year.
Hey, New Year. When I was in,
shit, I'm an hour into 2021, dude.
Yeah, so
Leo,
I've got the vaccine now. Where you been?
I got 2 hours. So.
Leo, may your 2021 be worse than 2020 because as a pessimist, you can never be disappointed.
Can it be?
Dude, I think it will be, honestly.
I tried to kill myself twice this past year, so let's hope 2021 isn't worse. I don't think it can be.
I found a discussion on YouTube. I'll have to find it again because I don't think I liked it, even though I didn't hit that thumbs up button, even though I like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
you do. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's a discussion between Richard Dawkins and who's the famous Lawrence Krauss.
Oh, please tell me you're not about to say, God damn it.
Lawrence Krauss.
No, I lost a lot of respect for Lawrence Krauss.
So did I. So did I.
Yeah.
But it's a discussion between Richard Dawkins and Lawrence Krauss, and I don't really keep up on Lawrence Krauss all that much. I do respect him as a physicist, but
I respect his knowledge, but I don't respect him.
Yeah, it really sucks when the champions end up being like complete douchebags.
Yeah, but I mean that's something else completely. I mean, I can like his work and all that, but
yeah,
there are a lot of people I don't like as people, but I like their work, and that's. You just have to get into that headspace.
And as far as I know, none of the allegations against him have been.
They haven't been proven.
Yeah,
but they're credible.
Yeah, they're very credible, and so my thing has always been, you're innocent until proven guilty, but never dismiss the woman. So until it goes to litigation, I automatically side with not just the woman, but the women in this case. And
three of them, I think.
Yeah. I think there's three, maybe even four, but I know for a fact there's like three. And with that, like I can separate, like when I'm reading a book and I mean, it's getting really hard with J.K. Rowling. Like, it's getting super hard to separate it with her. I ain't
really
gonna fucking lie, but
man, I'm sorry. It's
getting really fucking hard. I'm not gonna fucking lie.
Off. Like,
I love Harry Potter. I mean, I have read those books. Yeah. They're simple books to read, but they're really enjoyable books to read. so many fucking times I've read them. Like I've got my daughter reading them now. I've got my Hogwarts hat, right? Like, but it's getting really, really hard. But outside of that, I've always been able to kind of separate that unless it comes to this issue. Like it was really hard for me to vote for Joe Biden because of this issue. Not any other, you know, of course he's going to be a much better president than Donald Trump. But
Kira,
you know what? Tara Reid exists, and in my opinion, still has not received justice. So, and she won't now that Joe Biden is president. So it's I don't know. This is the issue that I always kind of draw the line on when it comes to sexual harassment, especially if you're using power. I have huge issues with that, and
yeah,
Lawrence Krauss was definitely using his power.
What does a Hogwarts hat look like?
It's red, and everybody thinks it's a "Make America Great Again" hat.
No, that would be a Slytherin hat, sir.
Hey, Knock, I think it would be a great way to ring out the very old, very fucky 2020 with the
Okay, like put down the puppies. I'm getting distracted.
With the thing about the what the fuck bra with the remix of Paula White. Can you put that up here?
I'm not
What?
sure.
The what?
What is it?
The what the fuck the WTF bra with remix with Paula White and all those Bundy's going crazy because Biden won. I think that would be a fitting into 2020.
I'm not sure. I've never seen that.
Oh no, like I don't think this whole like election thing is over by any means. Cause
Yeah, neither do I.
the ultra right wingers. Trust me, I live. You know, I live beneath Naka. You know, Naka lives in Ohio's hat.
Yeah.
dude, I live in Georgia.
It's definitely over.
I
They
can't-
just won't let it go because they're a bunch of little butthurt bitches.
just-
But let them fucking scream their way into the fucking darkness.
I
Because
just
that's
wanna
exactly
say-
what's gonna happen.
Naka, I'm sorry. I apologize, but I can't call
Well-
your state by name because you live in Ohio's hat.
I want to say, like, to all my Ohio friends, if you live in Ohio, I'm sorry, but fuck Ohio. I'm just saying.
I actually thought Ohio was gonna go blue at first. I'm not gonna lie.
The reason I can't say your name is because I'm OSU.
Yeah, I know. Fuck Ohio. I'm I am a Michigander, and we hate Ohio mainly because of Ohio State, but also because I lived in North Carolina, and my mom lived up here in Michigan, so I had to take that trip from North Carolina to Michigan, and 6 hours of it was Ohio, and the cops in Ohio pull you over for anything. So
It
I hate
varies. It varies, but
The
trust me, I know
link-
what you're talking about.
The link's in the private chat, Knock.
Yeah, I remember the other day I was reading. I'm starting to read like developmental genetics, and I was like, I'll just read like the first chapter, and like the end of the chapter's like, oh, read chapter 2 to find out like how this shit actually starts going like working. And I'm like, all right, okay.
I have no idea what you just said, Immutable. You might as well. You might as well just been speaking Chinese. I have no idea what you just said. It's like man.
I will say. Well.
Oh no! Go
What?
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Why is there an echo?
There's an echo. So here, let me remove this, and then you can go ahead. So
Hello and welcome to All Things. Damn it!
So it doesn't actually. It doesn't come out to the audience. It's like this StreamYard thing. I thought it was because we didn't pay the bill and we went back to like the basic plan, but now we're on the yearly plan again, and it's still doing the bullshit. So it's a StreamYard thing. So-
Yeah, I will not be using StreamYard when I do, like whenever I can get set up to do open rooms and stuff. I will be using Google Meet.
I thought they took that thing down. I thought they don't do that.
the Google Meet is new. It's I've been
It's basically
thinking about
It's
this.
Google Hangouts revamped is pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
We've got StreamYard for a year now, so they better fix this echo shit.
Honestly, like StreamYards at first was fine because I think 6 people is
You're gonna slip and fall still.
Like 6 people in a conversation is like the good amount.
Yeah.
Like,
what are you doing?
10 people, like that's almost too many fucking people.
Yeah, that's a lot of people.
And it was always kind of an issue with Google Hangouts back in the day, but yeah, it does become an issue. And, you know, we've tried different things here to try to keep it under control. And then you end up losing some of the things that you could have gained if you didn't do that. So it's kind of like this double-edged sword. I like 6 people. I like 6 people for most things, I think, outside of like just general hangouts and people talking shit. You know, 6 is a good number.
I think generally, like with the creationists that get on your channel, mostly Otangelo, like when there's 10 people in here, it's a little. Yeah. I can definitely understand where it'd be like overwhelming for somebody like Otangelo.
Are we going to talk about proteins? Are we going to talk about proteins now?
And Otangelo's been like the Christian that wants to come in here lately.
Because nobody cares about him. Well, he's like jungle jargon. He's fucking irrelevant.
But I do agree. Like in those science conversations, though, they really need to be like focused and not too many voices involved. Because if you have too many voices involved, you have too many facts coming out, and people can't really focus on what's going on. So I do think like there is something there with the science conversations that 10 people is just way too much for them. Like.
The thing is, like with Otangelo, it's hard to really pin him down in the sense that when you do address his actual point and you do like show why it's wrong or why it needs to be reconsidered, he won't acknowledge it. He'll move on to the point.
Yeah.
Immutable, were you there when this was just a few days ago on Speed Stream? I think you were there when you were either in the live chat or you were in the stream. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure you were there when he brought up the argument that the odds of finding life on another planet were something like 10 to the 122nd power, and he cited a paper, and me, John, Manny, Nestlig, and Speed all looked at the paper that he cited. It didn't say that. What it said was the range of values that can be calculated under their method is from 1 down to 1 in 10 to the negative 10th to the 122nd. I pointed that out, and then I pointed it out to him again, and everybody else pointed it out to him, and many was like, so, Otangelo, you were wrong. Can you admit that you were wrong? And he just left the fucking stream.
No, I'm not wrong. I'm talking about proteins.
Did you, his posts on Facebook are like, Leo can back me up. They're just ridiculous. He just posts just ridiculous shit on Facebook.
I think he blocked me on Facebook.
He tries to do the Dark Dawkins routine where he has a script where if you interrupt him while he's reading, he can't acknowledge you because he'll lose his place.
That has happened several times.
Exactly.
Can I finish, please?
I do like Otangelo.
Lisa, you're over talking me. I'm sorry. Continue.
I do like Otangelo, but I also feel really, really sorry for him because he's just what?
I don't.
What, Leo?
He's in the side chat.
I don't feel sorry for him one bit because, as far as I'm concerned, he's not a real fucking person.
These are like goddamn, what is it, Beetlejuice?
We
they just show up.
I mean, come on in. Like,
nice fucking model.
I'm up like super late anyway. Why not?
Oh, this is too goddamn funny.
Okay, so I don't want to get off on a tangent real quick.
No. But I want him to come in because I want him to tell me how the fuck. Like, does your nose itch? Does your ear itch? Like, how do you know? Is it God? Is God like revealing to you that?
Yeah, this could be the evidence for God.
So Rage, I know you've had a couple encounters with Dark Dawkins.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
Are you familiar with Tom Rabbit's channel?
Oh yeah. I enjoy
you...
Tom Rabbit. Like my first encounter with Tom Rabbit, like I thought I did super awful, and he covered it on his channel, and I was like, all right, I didn't do so bad.
Have you seen the hour-long beatdown that a user that went by the name of Gus? I'm not sure what his name is now.
Yeah, Gus Bellinger.
Yeah. He went off on DD for a fucking hour.
No, I have not seen this. I might need to watch this.
It is. Great.
Can I share? Knock, is it possible for me to share a Darth Dawkins rage? It's about 7 minutes long. We don't really have to watch the whole thing. I can fast forward. But this, oh my god, if you guys haven't seen this, this is fucking hilarious.
You can put the link in the side chat, and I can share it.
Okay, that works.
We will get. Let me. I
just got to
figure out where
his family left him.
No.
Why is it? Oh,
The thing is, there's a lot of good clips of Darth Dawkins just
I have your video queued up as well, Lisa, and yeah, put that link in the side chat. I'll get that queued up as well, Leo. I'm gonna be up for a while. I'm not tired, and might as well. Otangelo is here, so what's up, Otangelo?
Awesome. I'm gonna put the link. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. Really, right quick here, Knock. It would be 3 minutes and 25, 3 minutes 30 seconds in. Start there. That's when he really starts to go. And I'm telling you guys, this is if you haven't seen this, I'll
definitely get it queued up. And
no, this is from Tom Rabbit.
Yeah.
This is him on Discord. This is really fucking funny, guys. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'll definitely get it queued up. Oh, error.
Oh shit.
For some reason, that was Otangelo. So,
by the way,
Otangelo, my computer never likes your sites, so that wasn't Leo.
Well, yeah, no, I'm getting a 404 error, and not to mention this is from Reasons to Believe, which isn't a credible site to begin with. Like it's literally unapologetic.
My computer hates Otangelo's links. It fucking it's like virus block. No.
Well, either the link is expired in some way or it's broken. He would have to go search the article and then probably recopy the link. Let me try copying it.
Yeah, I'm getting
putting it in on Google. Let me put it in on Google and see what happens.
All right, Leo, real quick, and then we can Otangelo, please. I'll have these videos queued up. Talk.
Okay, I found the link that Otangelo's trying to cite, and I'm going to throw that.
All right. What was the time on that video you linked, though?
About 3 minutes 25 seconds in, 3 minutes 30 somewhere. The 3:20 to 3:30 mark somewhere in there. That'll be.
All right. So, yep, I got both those videos queued up. If I could speak right. So yeah, go ahead. We'll play those later.
So yeah, I put the actual link to the site that Otangelo was citing for, and the site. Well, he got it too, so it's in there twice for if people want to check that out.
All right. So let me pull that up and not get it on that fucking screen. All right.
No. Lay down.
So, exotic life sites. The feasibility of far.
I don't want to lay down, Marty.
Try to get Akira to lay down. I've taught my cat. She knows lay down, and she knows snuggle.
All right, so
I have heard. Okay, go ahead, Zon.
Well, I was just saying. I have your article pulled up, Otangelo. Looks like an interesting read. So yeah, go ahead and lead with what you want to lead with.
Well, to be honest, I think that these numbers, they are hard to be calculated, actually, because the factors are so many that would have to be brought into consideration. So I think this is very relative, and the two sides, they bring up different numbers. But I think the moral of this is that the fine-tuning of planet Earth, there are so many things that must be just right. And this, of course, is a fantastic evidence, in my understanding, of an intelligent setup in order to permit life on Earth.
Otangelo, that is the sentient pedal argument. We've been over this before.
I just want to know in what ways the
Not to mention, Leo, the problem of how are you drawing any statistically relevant results from a sample size of 1?
Well, first of all, as I said previously, immutable. I think that both sides, they bring up these large numbers, and I think nobody can actually calculate the real odds to have a life hosting planet.
True. I mean, where do you think people are coming up with these numbers from?
Well, you can read actually both sides, but I think that it is not only the planet Earth which is finely tuned, but you have to start from the Big Bang, and it goes all the way up from the initial conditions of the universe to the
which we don't know what they were.
Yes, but there are several factors that, like the cosmological constant, which is
We don't know what the
extremely
cosmological
fine-tuned.
constant was at the earliest moments of the universe. It could
Well,
have been
there
different.
there are science papers which come up with.
And in
with
fact, the cosmological constant was different in the early universe because the universe was expanding and then starting to slow down, and then it started to accelerate again.
Well, I go with what science papers say.
And that's exactly what the science papers say. What I just said is what the science
Well,
papers say.
well, they don't.
They literally do. The universe has always been accelerating, but if we go back to like say 3 billion years after the Big Bang, the universe was accelerating but was starting to slow down. It wasn't until the volume of space was large enough for those effects to take place that it actually began to accelerate. This is common knowledge in cosmology.
Okay, I'll put here a link so you guys can look it up. Max Tegmark, he says, how far could you rotate the dark energy knob before the oops moment? If rotating it by a full turn would vary the density across the fall range, then the actual knob setting for our universe is about 10 to the 123rd power of the turn away from the halfway point. That means that if you want to tune the knob to allow galaxies to form, you have to get the angle by which you rotate it right to the 123 decimal places. So I'll put here the link. You guys can look it up. But it's not just the cosmological constant. It's there are several things which are fine-tuned, and the fundamental forces are fine-tuned.
In what way?
Well, if you want, I can put also a link on that, and you guys can look it up. I'll put here the link on the fine-tuning of the universe, and there are all the links to the separate parts. So.
Well,
You guys can look
that's
it up.
that's a whole lot of links.
It's a link.
Because the one thing I wanted to say really quickly is that the way that the fundamental interactions of reality operate is completely different at high levels. So at higher energy levels, for instance, if we take quantum chromodynamics, strong interactions or just strong nuclear force, which is the strongest out of the 4 fundamental interactions. If you have 2 quarks, you can't pull them apart. It's literally, I shouldn't say literally, but I mean it's physically impossible. However, at high enough energy levels, you can, because the equations that govern the force and certain symmetries that are present are broken, or certain symmetries that are broken now are retained. It just depends on what you're looking at. Once you reach high enough energy levels, and you can get what's called a quark-gluon plasma. We already know that electromagnetism and weak interactions can combine at high enough energies. And in fact, we use this theory more frequently than we use electromagnetism or quantum electrodynamics. It's called electroweak theory. So we know that the way that the 4 fundamental interactions operate can change depending on the energy level.
Good, they can change. That makes precisely my point. Quarks are also finely tuned, and I can put a link here about that too. So you have to ask yourself, why?
In what way are they
quarks
finely tuned?
Well,
What do you mean when you say quarks are finely tuned?
I'll put the link here. You guys need to read it. It's a lot
Well,
of information.
and I do mean this with all. I do mean this with all due respect. But number one, yes, Wilson is correct. I am asking you. But number 2, you're citing your own blog. I was expecting like technical literature on the subject.
Yes.
I would prefer that.
I am citing at my blog where I have the information from. So
would you be willing to pull the technical literature from your blog and then just cite that in and of itself? Or would you be explaining it on your own? And I'm not saying that you can't. I would just prefer if you did.
Yeah, I'll put it here. I'll put here a link on the external information so you guys can look it up.
Maybe you should pull a jungle jargon and just say, like, here's my link. I'll read it to you.
Okay, I'll put it also in the side chat here.
Or you could just explain it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to bring up an argument, you can defend your own position. And you wrote the article, so it shouldn't be that hard to explain it.
And I understand it might be kind of irritating because I'm sure these are things you have discussed ad nauseum with numerous people. And like I said, Otangelo, I am not assuming that you can't explain your own arguments. In fact, I think that you could. I would just prefer that you do so, just because I would rather hear you make your argument than me read something, even if it is technical literature.
I've investigated this in 2017, so 3 years ago. So I don't have that just in my mind, So you have to read it actually, but it's all there in the link, so you guys can go over it. It doesn't have to be right now in the discussion. You can store the links and then you can have a read afterwards.
Oh, excuse me. The thing with me is that strong interactions are really, really interesting, because if quantum chromodynamics is probably my favorite of the fundamental interactions because it's the most interesting. I just saw it.
Are you kidding me?
I just saw that. Oh,
that's
God.
mean.
Thanks for the nightmares tonight, Nog.
Yeah. That's my new fucking sleep paralysis demon.
I know.
I'm just trying to help y'all ring in the new year. That's all I'm doing.
I'm gonna hear that fucking laugh going to sleep tonight. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so if strong interactions were truly symmetric, there would be. Oh God, and I might need Immutable's help here. So the matrix, it's either the matrix or the matrices that form the groups that make the mathematical underpinnings of strong interactions is an octet. There's 8. I don't think the term would be degrees of freedom. I can't remember what the technical term is. If it were truly symmetric, there should be 9. But there's not. There are 3 charges in chromodynamics: red, blue, and green. We represented the 3 charges just using 3 arbitrary colors because, well, we can do that, and physicists aren't very creative. But there's only 8 gluons. There should be 9, but there's not. And one, it's one of the doublets, I want to say, for color. I don't know if it's accurate to say that it cancels out, but there's something that's there inherent in the math, and I can't think of right off the top of my head because group theory is a fucking bitch. It's God mode. It's God mode math. Give me just a second here if I can get my laptop. I want to say that it cancels out, but there's something there where it's negligible, is what I want to say. So instead of having 9 groups, you have 8. That's actually pretty odd. That's not what we would typically expect. And this is why, there's going to be some technical jargon. Nobody needs to know what it means. They just need to know what the difference here is. That's why we call the mathematical underpinnings of quantum chromodynamics, we call it SU3 rather than U3. It's because of that sort of that disconnect there, where there should be 9 symmetries, but there's only 8. So that makes it SU3 versus U3. And I could be wrong. I would have to consult a physicist to be really, really extremely confident in it. But in my mind, and from what I understand, that isn't, to me, if I were designing it or fine-tuning it, that isn't particularly the way that I would do it. It seems there just seems to be a disconnect there in the way this force works that you wouldn't expect if some sort of super intelligence had designed it, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, guys,
know nothing.
Guys, it's late here. I'm leaving. Happy New Year to every one of you guys, and
good job, Leo. You scared them off.
No, it's late here. And,
well, group theory is a bitch.
Yep. I'm actually almost ready to study abstract algebra, but I need to finish this book on proof writing that I acquired. So that's an essential skill if you're trying to go into higher math.
Okay. Bye, guys.
All right.
Peace out.
Yep. Thank you, Otangelo. Yeah, I think you scared him off there, Leo.
I was gonna say, I guess. So immutable, we know we can talk about group theory and he'll go away.
I mean, group theory will clear out a lot of people if you give it enough time to. It's just
really will. It's oh, is this gonna give me what I want?
There's few
I gotta
people
go, you guys. My husband's about to go to bed, and I gotta probably go to bed too because I'm fighting off being sick. So, but I'll talk to you guys later. Knock and Leo, I'll message you and see you later. Happy New Year.
Oh, yeah.
Peace out.
Happy New Year. So, do I have everybody?
I scared everybody off.
I'm not even sure.
I mean, to me, like the field I find most interesting, and especially because it's it's a developing field still, and has been for 70 years. The origin of life, studies. Those are really interesting, and I mean, it's going to be interesting because it will also shape our understanding not just of how life developed on Earth, but on how life might be able to develop on other planets, so-called exoplanets. That, what is it? We're discovering one every day now. They're becoming really, really easy to.
I think the odds are, this is probably just something natural that happens through the universe. Whether or not, I don't think I've never believed that life forms could get here. I would need to see that. But the fact that life is in the universe, I think that's probably what just happens naturally.
Yes. Yeah, I've always thought, and I mean, there's so much to talk about it that I won't do it here, but it's to me, the processes that kind of underline, life as a process and how those things are formed, they seem so ubiquitous, so universal as a phenomenon that it surprised me that life wouldn't, it would surprise me more if life only existed on Earth. As opposed to life being, scattered throughout the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, me too.
The one thing I wanted to say about fine tuning is, if you had a set of universes, and we're ignoring whether they have life or not, whether they can permit life or not, in all of them, it would be the case that if you tweaked some of the fundamental constants that govern them ever so slightly, they'd look drastically different if you did that.
Yep.
So we should not expect that if we do that to our universe, it will look drastically different. That doesn't mean the values these constants hold were selected by some intelligence. And the thing with Otangelo's argument and numerous other creationists is they argue that life cannot, especially people like Otangelo, John Maddox, they literally state it's impossible for life to develop naturally. But then in the same breath argue, well, the way the universe is structured had to be finely tuned to allow for the development of life. But they don't believe that the universe developed life. They believe God put it in the universe. So it shouldn't matter what the universe looks like. God's omnipotent. He could have put life in any universe he wanted. How are you going to sit there and say the universe needs to be finely tuned to allow for life to be in it, but life didn't actually develop in the universe and so isn't actually dependent on the constants that govern it? It's dependent on God putting life in it. It seems to me that they're holding two contradictory positions there.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Did we run Otangelo off?
I guess I did when he brought up fine tuning of quarks, and I went into some of the math of. I really didn't go into the math of quantum chromodynamics.
I don't know too much about quarks, but I do know that they can pop into and out of existence in a vacuum. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's not really. And they say we believe the universe came from nothing. Well, we don't believe the universe came from nothing because nothing actually does not exist. This is what I can't get over with creationists. They put us in their position. They're the ones that believe the universe came from absolutely nothing. We don't believe the universe came from absolutely nothing. A vacuum is not nothing, people.
It's not.
Well, yeah, we literally got Otangelo to admit one night that God did it with magic. That was fun.
I remember that.
That was fun. But like when it comes to fine tuning, like Leo's exactly right. Like, when I started looking at physics, and I should have never entered into a debate about physics because that's not me. But I did, and I looked into it, and that's the thing with these arguments that these creationists put forward is, of course, our universe is fine tuned for life to be here on this planet, because life is here on this planet, and we can observe that. If life wasn't here, we'd never observe that, and we wouldn't know. And once you get into like multiverse theory and string theory, especially, then what you understand what Leo is saying, that every single fucking universe is going to be finely tuned for whatever output that universe is going to put it through. Yeah, it might not look like what we see in this universe, but that other universe is going to be finely tuned for something else. And if life pops up, they'll be able to observe that their fucking universe is finely tuned for them to be there. I mean, that's the power of observation.
Yes.
It
There's
doesn't
2
prove
points.
God.
It's
Go
not
ahead, Lee.
it's not just about the multiple universes, if there is such a thing. It's still a hypothesis, but even, even other solar systems, there are planets in the habitable zone of their star, and you can say that about other solar systems. If there is life in other solar systems,
We've looked at those planets. We've observed them.
they would appear to be finely tuned for that kind of life that exists in that solar system. So I don't get the fine tuning argument.
The 2 points that I wanted to make, and number one is sort of it's an analogy, and I made it in my debate on fine tuning with Otangelo back. It was on Modern Day Debate back in like April or something like that, May. And I said it's imagine, if you will, a fish that's swimming around in the ocean, and he says, "Oh, you know what? I guess I've never noticed. I've got all these scales on me, and they're." I'm sleek. I can move through the water in an efficient way. I've got these fins that allow me to move in the water, through water in an efficient way. I can breathe water. My food is all here in the ocean. It's almost as if the ocean were designed for fish, but we all know that's not the case. The ocean was not designed for fish to exist within it. Fish evolved to exist in their particular environment. A bird would say the same thing about the air. I've got these feathers and these wings that allow me to fly. It's almost as if, the air was designed for me to fly through it, but we know that's not the case. The second point I wanted to make is it was either Jeff or Jay, Jeff Spatchcock or Jay Pasick that used this analogy. Imagine stepping outside of your house on a snowy day, and a snowflake lands right on the tip of your nose. What were the odds of that one particular, not just any snowflake, but that one particular snowflake landing directly on the tip of your nose? If you would have stepped outside just an iota of a second later or earlier, that one particular snowflake wouldn't have done that. If the wind were blowing just an ever so small amount in the right direction, it wouldn't have happened. So what are the odds of that happening? But we've all experienced something like that in our lives. Like if you've ever walked outside on a rainy day and a raindrop hits you like right on the eyelash, what are the odds that that one particular raindrop would hit you right on the eyelash at that particular moment?
I mean, that's the thing. Like any given particular event that you want to consider, and like because I do deal with like biological sciences, I always go with the obvious example of like, and I think I did it with Smokey. I was like breathing air. Like you might think breathing air is a simple process, but like the amount of like molecular hassle that goes into that shit. Like when you breathe in, like an oxygen molecule binds you have to get an oxygen molecule from the air into your lungs, has to pass through, has to get bound by a molecule of like hemoglobin, bind properly into that structure and get carried around to wherever it needs to.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, what are the chances like that one particular oxygen molecule? Because hemoglobin as a protein carries one at a time, right? But your cells express like trillions of them. So it works out. It's like, what's the chance that one particular molecule happened to be grabbed by, this protein, and, circulated into your bloodstream and fixated?
And that's the problem with statistics. That is the problem with statistics.
Yeah, it's like, you give me any event, I can make it statistically improbable, right?
Exactly.
The thing is, and what I've mentioned to people before, it's like, look, nobody has an issue like with statistics, but the thing is, statistics doesn't account for mechanisms, right? It doesn't account for the fact that like the natural world, like that there's a reason why a particular molecule of oxygen, or that there's a particular reason like why water droplets have their structure and why they fall the way they do, and things like that. It's like, there's very specific reasons why these things happen. It's not just random.
One example I like to go to is quantum tunneling, which is where hopefully this isn't too technical, where a wave function, so you've got like a wave function hitting a barrier, and instead of being completely deflected, part of the wave function moves through the barrier. They call that tunneling. The odds of that happening even for just one proton is actually quite small statistically. Yet, that's the whole reason that the sun is burning hydrogen right now. So obviously it happens quite frequently, despite the odds of a proton tunneling through the force because protons are both positively charged, so they're going to repel each other, but they can tunnel through the force that's repelling them and get close enough that they can stick together. The odds of that happening are very, very low, yet that's literally what powers stars. And how many stars exist in the universe? Just because something is statistically improbable, really, that in and of itself doesn't mean much.
No, it doesn't. And that's partially because, like, okay, sure, that one particular event is improbable, but consider the frequency at which that event occurs, right? Like, for instance, the time scale of of certain bonds forming and breaking. Certain bonds, like that are made and broken, occur on the order of like nano to femtoseconds. I mean, it's an exceptionally quick process. So you have anywhere from like 1 billion to 1 trillion bonds, breaking or forming per minute based upon, depending upon what type of thing you're discussing. And it's like, okay, if that's just in 1 second, right? Just think about how many of them are occurring within an hour, right? Eventually, the number of events that are occurring within the time span are going to overcompensate for the fact of, the statistical improbability of that event occurring. Because eventually you're going to reach it just by, a random walk.
Yes, and another thing that they don't seem to understand or don't want to understand in some cases is that no matter how improbable an event is, it is always going to be more than 0.
Yes. Improbability in no way means impossibility.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. Like, there is only one mathematical number that corresponds to impossible, and that is 0. 0 statistically means something is impossible to occur.
Yep.
I mean, you can have 1 times 10 to the negative 100th, and it's still possible.
Yep. And and I know you've heard him say it probably as many times as I have, if not more immutable, that Attentional says that the odds of life occurring naturally are impossible. We both explained to him the statistics. Is the probability 0? Well, no. Well, then it's not impossible. By definition, it's not possible.
There's a very specific thing like that impossible means, and the fact that it's not 0 doesn't help your case.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, and just to blow Otangelo up a bit, though, I like the fact that when we're talking about Otangelo, we're sitting here and we're having a science discussion, right? Like, so with other Christians, you can't do that, and they hold these really horrible, atrocious beliefs, and that I just appreciate that about Otangelo is at least I can talk to him, and it might not even really truly reflect on me well because it does probably require more of a science-minded individual to go back and forth with Otangelo. But I can go back and forth with him and actually know that this is just a serious conversation about why he thinks that God is real. And I don't have to worry about Otangelo fucking hates people, right? So I do appreciate that about Otangelo is that he is I do think that to him that this is like a genuine, like I'm setting Surrey off, so shut up, Surrey. But like to him, this is like the reason why he really believes in God. So that's kind of like why he goes around and he has his scripts because this is it for him, right? And I do appreciate that.
And like I've said many, many, many times, he's a very nice guy. And I don't have a problem with him one bit.
He's just wrong about everything.
He's just wrong about a lot. Go ahead, Immutable.
It's not even that. Like, my biggest thing with him, right, is like with Otangelo and with all creationists, really. It's like, oh, well, you have to explain this and 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 blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, I can explain some of those things. Like, you want to pick, like one of these particular topics, and sure, I'll give you like my opinion and what I know about it. And sure, we can talk about it, until the cows come home. I don't really care. But the thing is, I don't like what I consider hypocrisy in the sense of there's this insistence that we have to provide explanations
for everything,
like in the natural world that occur. But when you ask him, it's like, okay, but how does God do it, right? Because that's one of the claims of Christianity, at least of like creationism, right? Is that God made everything. And it's like, okay, cool, but how? Like, what did God do? Like, what processes are God using, like, to bring about the events that he's, claiming to have taken credit for, right? Because, okay, like, you can say God did something, but I'm trying to play detective at a crime scene here. How does this shit work?
Just to play on that really quickly, it's like saying that somebody murdered somebody, but you can't tell me how they murdered them or where or when or anything like that. But they murdered them. Okay, but I have literally nothing to work with here. I mean, what would you expect?
Yeah, and it's like I can grant the premise for sake of argument, and part of it is like with ideas. So people that are intelligent design proponents, I think, ideists, and they're also creationists, but that's a different argument for a different day. But the thing is, like, one of the most essential questions that you should be able to ask about the process of creation, or an intelligent designer interacting with the world is, okay, when,
where,
right? Like,
how,
when exactly? Like, what point in time do you think? Like, are you speculating that God did anything with the natural world? And, like, what did he do? Where's his fingerprint? What, where can I go to, like, find out how he did stuff?
Well, you know what they'd say? Number one, they'd say his ways are higher than our ways. And number two, they'd say, just look at the tree.
I'm sorry. I have absolutely no faith in any Christian anymore. I really fucking don't. Like, so like every Christian now Like this is a fucking thing. Like Christians are watching this fucking video and taking it seriously. So, Maverick, are you talking about? So I'm assuming that Smokey Saint is using clips of me telling him not to call people like Jen Aldrich a whore because he doesn't know them, and then using clips of me going at the purity culture of Girl Defined, probably being very fucking satirical and saying, Bethany, why you being such a hoe? Right? Like, are you seriously, like, is that seriously what's going on here? And you Christians, you fake ass fucks that's gonna claim to believe in this fucking God are gonna actually believe this fucking shit? You're gonna think that this is acceptable Christian behavior? Like, you wanna talk about hypocrisy here? Let's talk about Christianity, because you're all nothing but fake fucks. All of you.
I think it's funny. Maverick says that I claim to know about quantum mechanics, but then say a photon is material. Literally, a photon is material. It's a particle of matter. It's like saying, oh, electrons aren't material.
It does make it a material in a way. Like,
What?
you can't argue that photons are material, kind of, but like that's a very it's a very clumsy argument to try and make.
I would say the photons are material because they're matter. If it's matter, it's material. That's what the word material means. It's matter, or it's made
my
of
basic
matter.
argument is like, if you're trying to say like photons are material, it's like, okay, yeah, photons are material. They interact with electromagnetic fields.
Yep. And they interact with physical things. Yeah. They're
Aren't photons both particles and waves?
They're really just so the wave particle duality is a little iffy to talk about because they're always waves. It's just the level of waviness that we're measuring. But the thing that I wanted to say about Maverick is we were having a discussion about this in a side chat. I don't know if it was on this channel or where. I asked him if excuse me. I asked him if he knew how to normalize a wave function, or if he could give me the normalization condition. He couldn't do it. I asked him if he knew what Brock-Ket notation was, and he didn't. I asked him if he knew what a Hilbert space was, and he didn't. So, at least for me, I don't think Maverick is somebody that I should listen to when it concerns quantum mechanics, when he doesn't seemingly understand aspects of it that are taught in the first semester of an undergraduate quantum mechanics course.
I mean, there's certain terms like that I'm not technically into the lingo with, but it's like there's certain stuff you just know about quantum mechanics. It's like, and the more precise description of wave particle duality is when you solve the Schrödinger differential equation, it happens to be the case that the differential equation that governs spring-like behavior happens to be the exact same type of equation that governs the behavior of what's called the particle in a box. And so they're considered equivalent interpretations, or not interpretations, but descriptions of the particles.
I'm not too much into physics. I'm more a biology, chemistry, psychology, anthropology kind of girl.
Yeah, I prefer genetics and like genetics, chem, bio, and like a little. I'm starting to get into like developmental biology, and wow, especially understanding a tad bit of biochemistry. It's like whoa.
So I have a question.
Developmental psychology is very, very
developmental biology.
Oh, developmental biology. Sorry.
I have a question from Maverick. He says electromagnetic waves are immaterial. Well, then why are they made of matter?
It's about to get
funny how he won't come in the chat and discuss this, but he'll go off in the side chat. Those are what
Maverick is
keyboard
back again. He's been off and on in the side chats for a while now. I love to see the trolls come back. I really do. But it's about to get dark now. This one guy, you're here. I wasn't really gonna let you in because I really don't give a fuck about any of y'all anymore.
Okay.
But what's up?
Nothing. I was just coming in to chill, dude. I'm kind of doing rough. I had a rough spot at home. If you want to talk about it, I'll talk about it. But
I'm done with fake Christians that are gonna condone and let Smokey be saying this crazy shit. Like I walked in like what I just craziness. Like, you know, yeah, I tried to tell fucking Knock about, you know, Low living with. I don't give a fuck who Low lives with. What I care about is how the fuck are y'all gonna condone and do this fucking shit. That's what I care about. And then the moment I tried to tell you about it on your stream, you kicked everybody the fuck out.
Well, yeah.
Damn, Rage is raging.
And I kind of wanted to spend New Year's, you know, with the kids. So, yeah, my bad for getting home.
It's all good.
Like I wasn't trying to like freaking have that shit on there anyway, and it kind of came up, and I brought it up. I didn't even mean to, but it was fucked up. Even like I was talking to Red Fang about it, like it was really fucked up. Just even off the bat, it's like, god damn, like this is the end of the year and this bullshit's going on, you know.
Yeah, I don't
and
even.
Then it's a fucking tough spot, even with the family shit, and it's really fucking. I'm dealing with my own fucking shit at home with that whole bullshit. So like, listening to all this bullshit and my own personal bullshit, it's like Jesus.
Like, I shouldn't even really.
Jesus
be angry,
wept for me
honestly.
Because fuck, man, this is crazy.
I mean, Jesus
cool.
is the fucking problem here. I shouldn't be angry. I shouldn't be surprised. You know, Jesus is the thing here. You know, Jesus is that bind that ties you together, and I'm not shocked. And God damn it, you know, I fought for a year and a half to be this anti-theist fucking prick. That was, and you know what? I've been accused of bigotries. And you know, maybe it's time. Maybe it's time I'm bigoted against those that deserve my bigotry. And anybody that's going to have somebody on that's going to talk about my child in the manner that this person is talking about my child, and talk about my parenting in the manner that this person is talking about my parent, I don't know. Like, what am I supposed to do with that? Like, how am I as a fucking parent supposed to sit here and be fucking calm with that?
Bullshit. Yeah. Dude, I know. I'm in the same boat kind of with my mom, and some shit happened down over here, and I'm like, I just came here just to chill, and I feel you, dude. I'm on my knees, and I fucking had a bit of wine, and I don't even drink wine. My mom had some, and we just had an argument. It's fucking New Year's and shit.
It's not fair at all of me to take it out on you, this one guy, because
you can if you want to.
Well,
it's cool.
It's not fair, and it's outright douchebaggery of me, and I'll admit it right here, because I'm not angry at you. It's not your fault Smokey showed up on your stream right after they finished with Will. And
I wasn't expecting that. So
you pushed a fucking
started,
button,
yeah.
so I shouldn't be angry at you. I'm fucking frustrated with the shit that I heard in this fucking stream. A stream that I told myself I was not going to watch. This is all my fault. I should be frustrated at myself, so I do apologize. And
You're good.
You know, I do apologize.
You're good, dude. Don't worry.
All right, so I got it out again. Y'all can continue your science talk.
I feel left out though. I kind of like it because I feel a little bit like included. Now I won't be able to include anything because I don't know science, man. Okay.
Don't worry, Tog. I'm in the same position.
I know, right?
Hey, Rage, did you play those 2 clips yet?
No, I still got them queued up. I figure I got like an hour. I am not tired. This anger thing inside of me is just, you know, like usually with YouTube, like I'm sorry, Wilson is right. Like when you allow YouTube to affect you like this, it's not healthy and it's not productive. And it's just like feeding this thing that's been inside of me forever, and it's part of my OCD. It's part of just not fearing anything outside of a goddamn spider. I was talking about that in Math Picks chat earlier. You know, I'm deeply afraid of spiders.
Oh.
But you know, it's just it's a thing that I hate about myself. This, like, you know, the natives always called it bear spirit. I call it just, you know, dumb fuckery and rage. But I don't like that, and I shouldn't take it out on you, this one guy, because Smokey Sane is a fucking cunt. And Will Kincaid decided that he was going to be.
I didn't even fucking think it was going to be so bad. Like I watched it on Will's channel because I figured, yeah, fucking Will. You know, and I did not think it was going to be so bad. And I felt like I wish there was other things to watch, and that it wasn't.
I haven't even seen it all. And then I guess the video on Smokey's channel is, I mean, that's everybody's talking about that shit now, and it's like, you know, if I don't address it, it gives them legitimacy. If I do address it, it gives them legitimacy. You know,
the same clip that you use, you know, that whatever the misunderstanding was about. He fucking using the same goddamn thing, and even in that, he did some editing shit with it. Cause I came in there and I was, what the fuck is this? And like, fuck, this is my fucking the thing. And he did it like kind of like the same way you did it. I'm like, well, I can't fucking do anything about it because he edited it and it has more content to it.
Banging the boys in the butt? Is that what you're talking about? The banging the boys in the butt clip?
No, this is
no. When Rage went off on Smokey on Talk Show,
I went the fuck off on Smokey.
Yes, you did. That was fucking priceless.
It was.
It felt good at the time, and then, like, honestly, when I was recording it back, like, I mean, when I was recording it to make the video, I'm like, I shouldn't put this out. What am I doing? This makes me look terrible. You know, like this is not good.
It shows you how much of a good dad you are. That you're going to go off on the motherfucker that's talking shit about your kid.
Oh, it felt good, though. Like, I mean, it felt good.
The best words I could use to describe people like Smokey Saint and Will Kincaid, who collectively, like together, have 239 subscribers under 1,000, is they're just irrelevant. Like I stopped following. I unsubscribed to Smokey, which I was only subscribed to him just, you know, to keep tabs on him, what he's doing and everything. Ever since I subscribed, and I haven't like associated with him at all, I've understood truly how irrelevant he is.
Well, yeah.
Oh, I keep telling him that every time I talk to him.
He is too, and he's so desperate. Like, he's so desperate for me to start coming back to his channel. That's what he really wants, and he loves these interactions that we have. But I was very naive, like, and I usually often admit to my naivety when it occurs, because he approached me like Matt Powell. I assumed it would go about the same way that the thing with Matt Powell went. So, like, we'll get disrespectful with each other, but we keep it pretty much to each other, right? Like, you know, if other people get involved, then we will include those other people. I'm guilty of it, and Matt Powell's guilty of it. But that's the rules of the game. We don't include people that didn't involve themselves in the shit. And that's the thing with Smokey, is he just didn't take that route. Now, I fucked him up, and I made him look really bad, and he loved every moment of it because I was going to his channel. I was going to his channel almost every Saturday night because that's when he's having his open mics. I was going every single night, and I was feeding him. I was feeding that fuel to his channel. And now he wants it so desperately that he is going to, like, just sink to this ultra low level and attack. Like, now it's not even so much about her, it's straight up attacking my kid. And like making it sound like it's some dangerous atmosphere for my kid to be in here, and that's not the case at all. I do see Oz is back there, so I'm gonna get Oz into the stream. And
oh yeah, you're constantly checking on your kid. You're making sure she's taking her mess, and you're being a good dad.
How many times have you said, "Hey, I gotta stop streaming because my daughter needs her computer time"? Like, that's not what a good father does. Out of the many examples I've experienced.
And like, John was right. John was telling me, like, dude, you cannot go and watch that tonight. And I was like trying so hard not to. I was bouncing around. I was watching other stuff. And then I did. And it was mainly to see if, like, Lo was going to be a part of it, you know, because if she wasn't, then I was going to have to apologize. Or if he wasn't, I was going to have to apologize. Was she a part of it? Yeah, well, at least the part that I saw. Yeah, I don't want to keep, like, misgendering. But from what I saw of it, when I saw, I must have saw the right part, because from what I know now, he had kept himself out of most of it. But what I saw when I actually turned it on was, and Will made it apparent, like, there was this whole, I guess, wall of stuff on me. And part of that came from Lo, and I'm like, that's my thing. Like, why are you a part of this? Like, if you say you have respect for me, in any way whatsoever, you wouldn't be a part of this, you know. And that was my beef. And now, they're twisting it like I'm threatening her. Like, no, I was just saying, like, I'm gonna be ruthless. Like, I'm not dealing with y'all no more. Like this, to me, this is crossing a serious line. Why are y'all being a part of this? And it's because
I
everybody
think
told me that they were.
changed.
Everybody told me what Will was. I knew what Will was. He is just that product of that TJ Kirk era of the internet, and it's all shits and trolls with him, and it's as provocative as you can possibly fucking be, and it's, man, it I don't care about Smokey Saint. Smokey isn't the issue here. It's, I keep allowing myself to be this moderate fuck when I shouldn't be. You can't trust. They see us as the fucking enemy, and you can't trust them. And I keep making that mistake. You let any of them in, it's just crushing. It's going. I need to shut up because I'm just gonna be that fucking anti-theist again. Like this is what happened in my family. This is why I started speaking out on YouTube, is because every time you put trust in any of these fuckers, they betray you because you are ultimately the goddamn enemy. It's not a human thing anymore. It's sides and shit, you know.
So I did have a quick question. Was Low he was in on like the trolling and everything like that?
From
And
what
just being
I
a-
saw when I was there, he came in at the very end, but Will specifically referenced this wall, and Will said, "I have this thanks to Low." And that is like, why are you even participating in this? Why are you latching yourself onto this? And anybody like, and that's what I was saying. You know, Tog, it's to me like this. Smokey Saint has crossed the line, and now Will Kincaid crossed that line with him. And how am I supposed to react? Like, you know, like,
Dude, I know that gets tough even for me. Like I don't know the blurred lines and all that because like I said, I don't want to be associated with it, but then again, I don't want to get heartrun for letting some dude on my channel when because I didn't know the intent of him
and I
coming
shouldn't
on,
blame
and
you
it started
for it.
to
It's
shit.
not your
So, and I'm like, yeah, because I literally let almost everyone on. I don't want to like hold that to
And
just
I'm-
a certain
I've-
part
I've
because
never
you know
been that
because, you know, it-
douchebag
yeah.
that tells
You haven't
everybody-
asked me not. Yeah, you haven't asked me, and thank you for not doing that.
I
yeah.
try not to be that douchebag. Like, you need to do this on your channel. It's just like, this has never happened before. Like, even with Matt Powell, it never went here. You know, it's like Matt Powell. When I text messaged Matt Powell about the death threats against my daughter, you know, despite what happened in the modern day debate, Matt Powell was like genuinely concerned about that and wanted to work together to solve that. That's what, like, that's when the debate happened on modern day debate the way that it did. Like, the reason I got so upset was because we were supposed to be solving that fucking issue, and then we were going to move on to our debate, and Matt didn't give me that, and it fucked me up. But it's never went to, like, he took that seriously. It's never went there with Matt Powell. With Smokey, it's like, I got to keep going lower and lower and lower. Tonight was the lowest. Like, the things he said about my daughter's, like, she's got a 41-second video on YouTube, and I struggled against that for a year because of the death threats and shit, right? Like, but I had to convince myself nobody's gonna know it's her. You know, like, I don't show her face. I mean, I have a couple videos when she first got diabetes. And yeah, I'm sure Smokey has those, but I don't show her face on a consistent basis. Like, nobody's on YouTube's gonna know who she is. She's making videos about diabetes awareness and videos she watches on YouTube. I have very little to do with it. I'm not promoting
ask
her
a
here
quick
on this
question?
channel. Like, I don't get it.
Can I ask a quick question? Does Low live close to Will?
He lives with her now. I didn't know that.
Oh,
earlier.
I did not
Yeah.
know that I did not know that either. That's a little weird.
Yeah.
Because I went to the stream and I'm looking for his avatar there, and I see that he's literally sitting next to Will, and I'm just like, what? Wait, what? What?
Yeah. I think the thing changed when your real name got dropped in all of it, to be honest. Like, it's a completely different game because of the self-docs, like, and
Well,
that does
so,
change things up dramatically, I think. Like,
So,
if it was still no name,
How
perhaps,
though? How, Tog? So plenty of atheists use their real names. Why should I have to hide my real name?
No. I'm saying not to hide it. I'm saying like in the terms of legality, because of your real name, because your personage is out there. I'm saying that they've crossed that line into that realm because of it. Like it's no longer a dude on the internet, but an actual real life person. You know, people can take back and address you. And now the things that are said about you online physically affect you because your real name is out there, which is a dangerous game.
I think Hog is trying to allude to that this is like almost borderline slander at this point, since there's a name to the face now.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Like, all right, so it was always a struggle with me not using my real name.
I'm gonna have to go, guys.
Go
Happy New
ahead.
Year. Yeah.
Because that Christian name is the name
Later, Todd.
that I write under, and if I'm ever gonna still try to accomplish my main goal through my entire life, which is to write books, that's the name that I'm gonna do it under. Like I'm writing an autobiography right now that's centered around my deconversion from religion. You know, like, so I when the Christians started using my first name consistently, and I just kept asking, like, why are you guys doing this? Stop doing it, and they just didn't stop doing it. It was like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna embrace it. And because when this book is done, I'm gonna be using it anyway. Like, I shouldn't have to hide my real name because Christians might harm me or my child. That shouldn't be a fucking thing. Right? So like this whole argument,
especially from Christians.
And that's one of the arguments that Smokey was making tonight, was that I'm endangering my child by revealing my own name. Like, no, Smokey, you're the one that kept saying my fucking name all the goddamn time.
He's oh Jesus. Like I don't say this about a lot of people. I really don't. But in this case, I think it is justified. I think I don't know if there's a lot of people I would meet that would disagree that it's justified. But Smokey needs to, and I mean to Slitter. I mean, he needs to have his ass beat. Like he needs to be fucked up. Bad.
That's what they're using that against me, is because during that blow up, when I did blow up against them, I'm like, straight up, dude, like, if you were to do this in front of my face, you would not get away with this. I'd be going to jail. Right? Like,
and I think he knows that. Like he knows. That's why he comes on the internet, because in real life he cannot be, and he definitely isn't the person that he is online. Being online is an outlet for him to be the stuck-up, arrogant, conceited, incel fucking douchebag that he is.
Wow, Leo, you said almost what I said last night about Kent, but
and that's the reaction that I'm looking for. Like, Christians, what is wrong with you? Like, how? Like, no Christian that I know in my life and in my personal life, even the Christians that don't like me anymore, would think that this is okay. I don't understand how these YouTube Christians think that this is okay, and how they're not having that exact reaction, Leo.
They don't care.
That's why I'm upset. Like, that's the reaction you should have. Yeah, let them come on your channel and then be like, why are you representing our religion in this manner? Like, why are you doing? Confront him. But they don't. They just, strong personality, follow the herd.
I'm almost tempted to go on Smokey's stream and just troll the shit out of, like, bad, like troll the big, like bad trolling, like borderline harassing him, trolling, just because it would be fucking hilarious.
But I really shouldn't have taken it out on Tog like that. I was just, Smokey chose Tog's channel tonight probably for a reason. He's very strategic.
There's a genuine sentiment when people say that Smokey needs to get served.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't seem like a real Christian to me.
No, he's a pussy ass little bitch. Yeah. I mean,
he probably isn't. Most of these quote unquote internet Christians probably aren't Christian. They're just doing it for the money and the fame.
I would love to get him in the cage for 5 minutes. I would fuck him up.
Who, Smokey?
Yeah, Smokey.
I wouldn't need a cage. I would just need my ring hand.
Well, there would be a cage I can't get arrested.
There would be a Celtic cross imprinted on his cheek, probably with some teeth missing. I said missing.
like another
Oh,
thing
Mike
he implied.
Tyson.
They implied, both him and Will implied that like I made up death threats against me. Like, dude, like you could probably because I doubt YouTube even deleted all the comments from way back in the day. You could probably go back to videos from me way back in the day when I was like super anti-theist and I was just making edited videos. I would literally get death threats in the fucking comments. like motherfuckers would straight up threaten to hunt me down and track me down. I made this one video on the ISUPK on my first channel. And it was the first video I ever got over 1,000 views on. And I got over 100 death threats in the comment section alone of that video.
I gotta point something out
That makes
that's really funny. The Maverick is talking about how Smokey would beat me in a fight because I'm a twig, which I'm not. I did want to just put it on record. Bruce Lee was 5 feet 7 inches tall and weighed 135 pounds.
You know, in physical violence, like it honestly shouldn't even be a discussion. Like talk to me. The point of this channel is to have a conversation about God, right? Like they're trying to spin it because during my blow up, I did offer Smokey that. I'm like, you come, we'll have a referee, we'll raise money for charity. I don't care, but we'll settle it like men in a boxing ring. Bring your fucking referee, we'll do it. And he wouldn't do it. So they're using that like I'm this brute barbarian, but I don't believe that it should even be in the discussion. It should never go there. We're talking about your fucking God. Right? Like, prove to me that your God exists, because you just can't do it, and you keep going to this like super low area, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. That's not the problem, because that's just who you are. The problem is that Christians allow it. That's the fucking problem, because proves their.
That's why they do it, because they cannot prove their God exists. So that's why they do it. They have to do it that way.
Because
hey, Rage.
Oh yeah. We've been talking a lot. Go ahead, Oz.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. Yeah, I was having a decent
New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
I can't
it's
say
going
happy
to be a new
Year.
year on the channel. I'm really wanting to go in a different direction and not rage all the goddamn time.
Yeah, I can't say Happy New Year yet. So I have to wait like 38 more minutes.
I mean,
in 38 minutes. In 38 minutes. Happy New Year.
Thank you. I've already drank my sparkling grape juice.
We on our channel we did two time zones, and I was like, all right, we're done. We're bouncing.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna stream at all. Like I was planning on I was gonna go into MathPig stream earlier. Excuse me, lots of soda. Yeah,
that was a fun stream.
That was, my big party of the night is I drank too much soda, and I'm supposed to not be drinking soda, but that's my that's my thing tonight. But yeah, I ended up not going in. I just listened to it right up until like the Quiplash part, and then my goal was to try to keep myself occupied, and I didn't, and I allowed myself to do the thing that I wasn't going to do. So I'm sitting here raging when I wasn't going to be streaming at all tonight. So
Rage, do we have no more Christians left tonight?
No. They,
in the side chat we do, but they don't have as John Mad Max would say, the proverbial CO Jones to come into the fucking chat because they're keyboard warriors.
Yeah, they don't have the guts to come fucking face us.
Yeah, well, the Christians are rather light lately because I don't know. I don't know if Smokey's got them all in check, but even my old friends like Skyout and Praise don't come around too often anymore.
And the thing is, I think Speed.
Praise is usually having like a 12-hour stream.
Yeah,
he's
almost every fucking night. What was that, Immutable though?
Yeah, I think Speed or a few people pointed this out, where it's like you see a lot of atheists going into Christian rooms, but you don't see a lot of Christians going into atheist rooms, right?
Yeah, we were having a talk about that on Speech Channel. How the people like Smokey, people like John Maddox, people like Praise, people like Standing for Truth are all talking about how. Let's have some atheists come in. We want you guys to come in, but none of them, or at least very, very few, and very, very seldom do they go into the opposite
Okay,
streams. And it just shows you how much of a how much cow.
So where? Let me ask this, because I'm a hunter. So where are they at?
Most of the time, they're mostly at Praise I Am, That I Am's channel. That's where you'll find most of the Christians.
Leo, you're frozen.
Leo froze. It's not.
There's some that really confuse me too, because I don't know if they're creationist or if they're just kind of like there because they're one like their fellow Christian brother. Like, in a perfect example is Doki Doki Bible Club, I think.
Huh.
The thing is, like, you only see that person like really say hi and like send super chats like to the Christian channels. You never really see him, her, it, whatever, like make remarks about like their own personal beliefs, though.
Yeah, well, and I found that like when I decided to start talking to Christians again, like I literally had to go out to their rooms. Otangelo will come here. CJ comes here every once in a while, but they generally won't. Like unless I'm like reaching out to them and scheduling very like concise conversations, it's really hard to get them to come into big rooms like this. So I have to kind of hunt their rooms down if I want to talk to them.
They'll talk a big game, like they want to debate you or something like that, but then when you're up to it, they run. Standing for Truth has said he's wanted to debate Speed for a while, and then
were there one or two? Because I'm feeling froggy right now. So praise I am that I am. What was that?
Yeah, praise I am that I am always has. But man, dealing with Gavin.
He's not streaming tonight.
Yeah, it's probably.
Yeah, he is. Well, I don't think his stream has started yet. Wait, let me check.
No, yeah, he just started his stream.
I invited Matt onto my channel. I said we're not going to debate or anything, Matt. But if you want to have a discussion, I'm totally up to having a discussion. And he's like, well, I'll have to think about that. And I'm like, wait a minute. You're the one that challenged me to a debate earlier this year. And now I'm giving you a platform to come onto my channel, not to debate, but just to have a discussion. And you're turning me down.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They all do that.
So and I apologize. I totally don't mean to be rude. I just want to make sure I get it. So, praise I am that I am. He's live. What was the other one?
That's live right now.
Yeah, he's live right now.
Yeah, praise is live right now. There's
Smokey's live right now. I don't know anybody else that is.
Standing for Truth is probably not right now, but he's another one that'll sometimes have rooms. But like CJ Cox has rooms here recently.
What was it? Smokey's live? Somebody said.
Yes.
Yeah, he's always.
What's his? What's his?
Smokey Saint.
Yeah, he's something else as well.
Or actually,
I've got a good rap. I've got a good rap. Just listen to you rage on Smokey. So.
Yeah, he's something else.
Logical, plausible, probable. If you pay attention, like to MDD, typically after debates he'll go live, or he'll go live to just.
He's probably talking about me, honestly, because we did have a little interaction, and I know he expected me to rage out, and I was very calm. I was very, very calm, and I just pretty much, I talked to him for a couple minutes, and I was like, "Yeah, you can leave."
I was the one that was giving him some rage.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing a New Year's Day stream, but I have Saturday live streams, so I'm just gonna add it to my Saturday live stream. What I was gonna do for my New Year's Day stream, but I am gonna upload an edited video for tomorrow. Probably not until like tomorrow afternoon, but still, so I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, he's definitely talking about me. I've got it on mute, but I can see Universal Artisan in the Maverick. The Maverick's over there. He's like, he tried to say it was in the past and he has changed now. Like,
wait. The Maverick said he said I'm out, no hard feelings. So I guess he was just switching streams to go bitch and complain.
He tried to say it was in the past. What is he talking about? What did I say was in the past and I've changed now?
All right. Well, I love y'all. In the two links you gave me, I'm gonna go see if I can get on. So I love y'all.
Oh yeah. Enjoy Oz. Have fun with the crazy peoples.
I do want to let you know, if Gavin Herleman is on with Praise, good luck getting anything out, because anytime you reasonably challenge Praise or any other theist, Gavin will interrupt you, ask you how old you are. If it's younger than him, he'll claim, "Oh, well, your brain's not developed enough. You're just a little boy," and then he'll mute you.
Leo,
He's literally a bitch.
Leo, I already got Gavin under my thumb. Gavin is nothing.
Yeah, Gavin.
You run the Atheist Roundtable, don't you?
What's that?
Aren't you a part of the Atheist Roundtable?
Yeah,
I'm co-owner. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Gavin wanted to debate me on that channel, and I was like, "Good luck with that."
You know what I would like? I would love to see Aaron Ra with Praise I Am That I Am. That would be a beatdown I would enjoy.
I would rather see Aaron debate either Standing for Truth, who has consistently said he'll debate Aaron, but has refused at every opportunity. And I would really love to see him debate Otangelo, because Otangelo has been chomping at the bit to debate Aaron. Yet every time he's interrupted in like a stream, Otangelo just leaves. Otangelo wouldn't last 5 minutes with Aaron.
Yeah, no. And I'm going to be ending soon, so I might see you in Praise's room later. I don't know.
All right, real quick, guys. Rage, everybody involved, Leo, everybody. Happy fucking New Year.
Oh, yeah.
No matter
Happy
where
New
you're
Year,
at.
man.
2020 was some bullshit. 2020 was some bullshit. 2021, we're gonna fucking win this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hearing
Happy
that.
New Year,
2021 is going to be a lot better, man. Happy New Year.
Hell yeah. Happy New Year, y'all.
Bye, Oz. Yeah, 2020 was just fucking. Ugh.
Yeah,
Dirty.
but I am glad that I did go live and I got to hang out with you guys tonight, because I needed that.
Yeah.
I feel a little better.
Yeah, good, Rage.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So, I appreciate you having me on. It was a little bit tame tonight because we didn't have any Christians.
Well, we had Otangelo in until I mentioned abstract math.
Well, we also had Tog too.
Well, but those two tend to be more respectful. I'm talking about the dumpster fires like Sunflower.
I mean, Sunflower and CJ, like, I like CJ as a person, but like, he can get really pissy with me when I start like pushing against him on like some of the claims.
Well, he tends to get, or seemingly, I should say, tends to get pissy when you get into discussions with him anyway. So.
No, because I was just like, I remember that one comment I make, and it was like,
When was this? What was the topic? What did you say?
I believe it's about like the historicity of Jesus, or like if Jesus was the person he claimed to be. And I was like, I've claimed to cure cancer. Prove I didn't do it. Right, because we were talking.
Oh, I remember that. I remember that. Yeah. When he was like making a claim and then saying, "Yeah, prove me wrong," and then you made a claim and you're like, "So prove me wrong," and then he was like, "Wait, well, that's not how," or something like that. And you're like, "Well, I mean, but that's what you're doing."
Yeah. I pulled that card on him. And I'm just like, "Well, prove me wrong."
Immutable, I got a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
I've been trying to figure out Schrodinger's cat, and for the life of me, I just can't figure out what Schrodinger's cat is. I know it has to do something.
It's just you muted yourself. Schrodinger's cat is a really, really bad thought experiment, in my opinion. I mean, it's just really bad. It's way too contrived. It's way too contrived, more so than what the phenomenon it's trying to explain needs to be to explain it, in my opinion.
Okay, so what exactly is it?
I will let Immutable answer since you asked him.
So, in quantum mechanics, there's a notion of superposition, which essentially says that whatever states that a particle is allowed to occupy, which is governed by that wave function, it has it has a certain state that it can occupy, and the sum of those solutions is a new state. Schrödinger's equation attempts to describe that mathematical structure by saying, imagine you have a cat in a box, right? And the box is sealed. And, it's sealed because you can't observe what state the cat's in prior to observing it. And so that cat, in this hypothetical, is either going to be dead or alive. And you can only know when or what state that cat is in once you've opened that box, right? And the idea is that prior to you opening that box, the cat is is to the observer's perspective in a state of superposition. So it's in some combination of dead and alive. Like there's an ambiguity regarding what state precisely the cat is actually in until you measure what that state is.
Okay.
Really quick, would it be possible for me to share my screen? Because I might be able to provide a bit of a, not really an animation, but a depiction that might help Lisa understand it in somewhat of intuitive. Not that Immutable's explanation was bad, I don't think it was, but just to give.
In fairness,
you could share it. The audience wouldn't see it, but Lisa would.
Schrödinger's cat is a really poor example to try and demonstrate superposition. There's definitely better examples you can use, but yeah, it's bizarre.
Why am I drawing with my mouse? I need to be drawing with my fingers. I can't do my mouse. I can't. I'm going to switch colors here.
Oh yeah, try to draw.
I'm going to make this really, really simple. So this is psi. That's your wave function. And let's go back to black. This is simplistic, but it makes the point. This axis will represent as another vector. This axis will represent it as another vector. Psi here, this vector, this white one, is in a superposition of this one and this one. Now, if you wanted to, say, actually figure out what state it's in, you would take a fancy mathematical tool, is what I'm going to call it. It's called an operator or a linear operator, O hat, and the little hat that's to say hat, which just denotes that it's an operator, and you would use that on the wave function in simplistic terms. And what you would do then is called projection. And so you would, if you were shining a light from the top of my screen onto this white vector, the shadow that it casts down to here makes another vector like that. That's called projection. And correct me if I'm wrong here, Immutable, because this part is where I'm fuzzy. I think you scale this vector so that it's actually the length of the one that you're projecting it onto, and that's lambda. That's a really poor lambda. Let me try that again. That's a lambda, and that would equal that. The lambda would represent the value of the quantity that you're measuring.
Yeah,
and this is how I understand, quote unquote, wave function collapse in superposition, where the white vector, which represents your wave function, the vector represents your wave function, is in between this vector and that vector. It isn't actually been projected to either one of them, so you would state that this vector is in a superposition of this state and this state.
Okay.
And you don't know which state it's projected to until you act on that vector with, say, a linear operator, which I think that it doesn't have to be a linear operator. There are ways around that. There's other fancy math stuff that you can do. But generally speaking, you would use some form of linear operator, which would then project it, and then you scale it, and then that quantity is associated with whatever you're measuring.
Okay, thank you, Leo.
Mm-hmm. That is the best way that I can understand it. That might be a little shoddy. I hope it's not. But
No,
as I understand it, that's pretty good. What were you going to say?
No, I think that's good. I think that's sufficient.
And I had to run through that earlier today with Andrew Immutable on Speech Channel. We went in a little more depth just because Andrew his question was a little bit more technical, but it was sort of related to Lisa's because superposition is Immutable can attest to this, is a concept it's not really intuitive. Like, how is something not in a state, but is like, it's sort of that you have something that's not in a state, but is surrounded by those states, but it's not in any of those states. It's a very non-intuitive concept. Like most of quantum mechanics.
It's somewhat ambiguous in terms of like what it means practically.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true. Yes.
Well, a lot of things that we, not only as atheists, but as scientists, because a lot of atheists are scientists.
Mm-hmm.
That's what a lot of us specialize in, is non-intuitive stuff. And I think maybe that's where we butt heads with the Christians, is because they want things to be intuitive. They want things to be simple, and things just aren't simple, and things just aren't intuitive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, to me at least, where I find beauty is in fields of cell biology and especially now studying developmental biology, because you get this question in your mind and it's annoying, but it's about how the fuck does a single cell, right? How does it know what to become, and how to diversify into this really magnificent and diverse structure, and especially given that what is it, the human?
Oh yeah, it's like we all have the same DNA as in all our cells, right? So
yeah,
so what differentiates a neuron from a kidney cell? Well,
right.
different patches of DNA are turned off or turned off depending on what kind of cell it is,
Yeah, and what's really fascinating too, in granted, what I know about developmental biology is very poor, and I'm still learning it. But what's true about development as a process typically is for cells that are very young. So if you take cells from very early from a very early embryo, a day or so old or something like that, right? You pluck randomly from it and you pick it off. You place it in a petri dish. It'll start the process right over again, right? It'll keep dividing from where it stopped, from where it left off, and continue the structure, or it might do something different. But the point is there's very, very simple principles that regard that concern how development operates as a process, and one of those is one of the reasons that cells commit to a specific cell type is because they grow in the presence of other cells. Otherwise, they would just stay general. And one of the other things that commit cells to to differentiate and to form specific structures is, you were mentioning, this process of gene expression. And what actually is responsible for controlling that, one of the many things, is something called mRNA. So mRNA is the cell's way of kind of describing what type of protein it needs, what type of molecular machine needs to be produced from needs to be synthesized from the nucleus and to be active, right? And what you find actually is that certain cell types, especially when differentiation is still occurring, produce very large amounts of certain mRNA species that are responsible for that are responsible for signaling major gene networks. So genes that cascade along with other genes to perform a very specific process in terms of how that cell will behave and what type of things it'll go on to produce. And you alter that, like the way that process gets determined, though, is essentially where is that particular type of molecule located in a cell, like in the cell at that particular moment in time, right? Where is it positioned relative to other cells that are more or less identical, right? Because like Lisa was saying, all the cells in your body have the exact same DNA, with the exception of the cells that you have that are responsible for sexual reproduction.
Mm-hmm. I did want to interrupt really quick and ask Flow State, or tell Flow State, give it fucking back right now. Give it back.
What did I take?
You took my fucking Bic, you motherfucker. Give it back.
Mine, bro. It's already on my lighter lead.
No. You stole that. Give it back.
No, Flow State comes in like right when I'm about to fall asleep at the microphone.
It's cool. I just got home, saw you were on. I'm very low energy right now too.
Do you work a night shift or what's up?
No.
Or were you out partying?
I was out.
Okay.
Had a little champagne. Shot a few
Some
bullets.
champagne.
I can't have champagne because I can't drink.
It's not very good.
Medicine, but
You're diabetic?
no, I'm epileptic.
Oh.
Okay. So alcohol has like a measurable negative. If it's not just a choice, like you actually can't consume alcohol, it does things to you that you can't have happen.
That is correct.
I can't drink alcohol. It does things to me like make me an asshole. So.
Yeah, I try to stay away from substances.
I'm still an asshole even if I don't drink, as Tog saw tonight.
We know.
Yeah, we know that, Knock. But anyway, but yeah, you see, and that's one thing they, the Christians, and not to jump on the Christians too bad, but especially the young Earth creationists, they're like, well, God did this, and I think it was you, Immutable, that was saying, well, yeah, but how did he do it? And they just think that, well, God is a good enough explanation, and they stop there. But I mean, really, if you think about it, even if you believe in God, in their God, which I go into on my channel, their God is logically impossible, cannot exist. But
I want to hear that. Not right now, not right this instant, but I'm curious about that. Continue.
That we still have to know how God did these things. It's not enough to say, yeah, God done it, and I did that one on purpose. It's not enough to say God did it.
So are you saying that they drink and their rationalization for it is shitty?
Yep, basically.
Okay.
Well, what Otangelo, for instance, will argue is like, oh, well, God is the most intelligent thing of all. And I'm like, God knows things that we don't know. And I'm like, I don't agree with you, right? Like, I can accept that, like, coming from your framework.
Well, how do you know that? I mean, if you don't know what you don't know, how do you know that somebody knows that something you don't know?
God couldn't even find Adam in the garden. Like Adam hid behind a bush, and God couldn't even find him. Like,
the thing is,
I'm not too impressed.
The thing is, at least, like, you can ignore that point entirely, because for me, the more important point is in stressing, like, look, if you're going to take this text literally, right, what the Bible seems to describe isn't creation ex materia. It's creation ex nihilo.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
What the fuck is that?
Creatio ex nihilo is the Latin term for creation out of nothing.
Out of nothing.
Literal nothingness.
Yeah. With the Bible,
a literal nothing, not a scientific nothing.
Yeah. It's describing a creation from, like, absolute nothingness, like, in the most philosophically, like, true sense.
Yeah.
And that is the definition of impossible.
I mean, I think that these scientific rebuttals to the Bible, as well as the literalist interpretations, all completely miss the point of spirituality.
No, I think so
I mean,
too.
everybody's like arguing the wrong point from all sides.
What is spirituality?
Don't do this to me when I'm tired. I just told you I was tired.
I mean, if I was going to support your point, I would say spirituality is kind of like the yearning and kind of like the sensation, like that there's more than just this, right? Like there's something deeper than
It's something bigger. It's bigger. It's mystical. You know, it's
yeah. That there's something bigger, like than just than just life, or like than just you and me out there.
It's kind of like a feeling you would expect ants to have looking out at the broad world. That's
yeah,
kind of equatable to the microorganisms we would be on a universal scale.
Yeah, basically. I mean, like it's this kind of like sense of awe and wonder and kind of childish fantasy for being something more out there than just.
I mean, the spiritual thing, like it always gets me. Like because I have some of the family members that still actually get along with me. They consider themselves more spiritual and not religious, and I try not to go at them too hard. But I'm like, so like, what is it even? Like, are you a deist? Are you an agnostic? Like what it like? Is it like the energies and the crystals that you're feeling? Because I used to get high and feel that shit too, man. I can get there with you, but. Like I just don't quite understand what they ever mean by spirituality, because if it's deistic, well then shit, I grant that premise as an atheist. Like it's possible. I don't think it's, but like yeah, I mean, fuck, I'm a minute organism on this world. What the fuck do I?
I think that would mean it's probable.
I don't deny it. I don't deny it. Right?
I don't think it's probable.
I know that's what I'm saying. Their position is probably it's a probable. Yeah. It's probable that there's a bigger power, or there's things going on that we don't know.
Stolen Big, if you would like more information, I've been doing a bunch of series on my channel. It's Lisa for Truth. It's just my name. Go ahead and go over there. If you want to subscribe, go ahead and subscribe. But you
already sold me. You don't need to replug it. I just need a link though.
All right, hang on.
Appreciate it.
My biggest point, and I do this with people that are pushing like alternative medicine as well. Like with these people that are like that I think are genuine with what they're trying to push, right? With like supplemental oils or stuff like that. But my big point, and it's a really critical point when it comes to psychology and medicine as a whole. But it's this aspect of how do you know it's not like up in your head, right? Like how do you
know that about it? That applies to everything.
No,
I would disagree.
Especially like with with certain supplements that are provided, right? One of the points of the placebo effect is that your attitude towards taking something, right? So like your attitude to receive a treatment or something like that is as important as the drug itself, right?
You're talking about the placebo effect.
Yeah, like
but I mean, you can take that same question and gaslight basically anything. So obviously some things have very measurable results. Like you can stop. When you've stopped the bleeding,
right?
But I'd say I bet most modern medicine that people are on, you could chalk up just all in people's heads. It's not measurable.
No, I would severely disagree with that. And that part of
you think that all the antidepressants and anxiety pills
is this part of your anti-vaxxer shit?
Those work. We like literally measured their effect on the neurotransmitters in the brain. Like we've literally watched them work. Why do I need to measure them?
Take your Prozac in the morning.
There's numerous things I myself haven't measured.
Right,
but I know that it's real. The experiments are there. They've been done by the experts.
You can negate both sides the same way by saying, "Do you really know what you think you know?"
I don't think so.
Stolen Bick, the link is in the private chat for you.
Thank you.
I like how she's calling him Stolen Bick. You just call him Flow State.
Yeah. My big point is that, especially with things like that people want to believe, if you want to believe something like desperately enough, you will eventually find evidence, and that evidence will conform to your desire to believe that thing. Right? It's this kind of self-reinforcing bias.
It's a good thing Leo did air quotes, because that would have totally fucked me up without those.
Yeah, you can find evidence to support really anything you want if you believe hard enough.
But seriously, when you're talking about drug trials, they actually go through.
No. You guys are missing.
Unless
You're missing the point. I'm talking about the individual's experience taking the pill. If you take something from a doctor that they say will make you feel better and you think you feel better, or if you take something from a guru they say will make you feel better and you think you feel better, your knowledge is the same. These are the same processes. They're appealed to authority, maybe some placebo effect, maybe some real effect, but you haven't done trials. You're just trusting that authority more than that authority.
That's because
a guru isn't an authority.
Yeah,
If you're not an MC, you're not an authority.
And the FDA has drug trials that you have to go through to get a drug approved. And these trials, unless it is unethical, and I stress the unless, then they must have a placebo-controlled study.
Took the words out of my mouth.
Unless it is unethical. And we're talking about like stuff like cancer.
But you understand, I'm not talking about whether the studies are more credible than the guru. They are. I'm just talking about the information that you have can be gaslit, because it's the same mental process for each
In a
conclusion.
sense, yes, but you also have to remember we literally use placebos in clinical trials to determine the actual efficacy of a particular drug.
You, the patient, have never run a placebo past anybody.
I don't
That's
need
my
to.
point. That's my point, is you don't have any firsthand knowledge or experience. In both cases, you're accepting somebody else's expertise.
Yeah, but who should you accept? The actual expert, or some dude you found in a back alley who's giving you pills?
If you believe that the dude in the back alley is talking to actual God, I'd say God knows more than placebos. But
Yeah, but that raises a
you're
whole slew of other
you're arguing something that's not my point.
The thing is-
I know. I trust studies more than I trust gurus too.
Okay, so what is your point? I'm genuinely asking.
Does anybody get my point?
Maybe.
I think I get your point in that, like, the personal knowledge people have when it comes to trusting a guru as opposed to trusting a medical professional, right, is effectively equivalent. I think my biggest disagreement in this case would be the reason it's more virtuous to trust something like a medical professional is that if I'm placing trust in you, right, there should be an extent to which I should be able to question you on the specifics of how this thing is going to influence my body. Right? So, like, if you're giving me, like, a narcotic or something like that, I should be able to know, like, to a reasonable effect, like, what the potential side effects of this thing is going to be.
That's a good doctor right there. That's a keeper.
Right? And whereas if I'm going to, like, a health guru, right, I can't really pull up, in the majority of cases, I can't get, like, a paper pulled up from those people in concerns to, like, how this drug has been studied, right?
Have you ever been in a health food store?
With health food store, I trust health food store because they're typically
Like the
under
same
regulation.
sort of oils and shit. They have all sorts of little pamphlets and stories and stuff. They got the
They
same
do. And
marketing material.
and a lot of it, though, usually is personal testimony.
That is true.
Right? Like, a lot of it comes down to, like, oh, like, Peggy Sue, like, aged 80, like, claimed that this cured, like her sclerosis and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, like I'm not gonna call her a liar, but just like the fact that she said that, right? I'm not discrediting it, but I don't think that's necessarily as convincing as something where you have controls set up and stuff like that.
I've really got to go to sleep. I've got one question, and then you guys can hang out as long as you want. But I'm gonna go to sleep, in this thing. But are you an anti-vaxxer, Flow State?
First of all, that's a misleading question.
How?
How? Because you can be opposed to too many vaccines. I think there are too many vaccines given to too young a babies. I'm opposed to the COVID vaccine. I'm not anti-vax.
Well, then why are you opposed to certain vaccines?
Because I think that the risk of a baby getting hepatitis is far lower than the risk of having an adverse effect from the vaccine at such a young
What
age.
adverse effect? Vaccines don't generally have adverse effects.
Vaccines
Happening is extremely low.
Babies don't get the hepatitis vaccine.
Dude, I think they do. It's not the
No.
first one. It's young.
No, they don't.
I can't remember. It's not Tdap either.
Yeah, it's usually it's.
What is it?
There's a schedule to it.
Yeah, there is. They get anyways. The whether it's a baby or a toddler or whatever, it's certainly before kindergarten. And
I was just asking because I know you're a Trumper. Yeah, so
I just wanted to say Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year.
I do want to. Yeah, I want to end in
You
Happy
just
New
tried
Year.
to throw a grenade at me, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Well, it's because I have to end, and you came in so late, and I'm super tired, and I never stay up to 3:00 in the morning, and I'm going to totally regret it tomorrow. So.
See you later, Knock.
So yeah, I'm gonna end it. You guys hang around and talk as long as you guys want to talk, but I'm going to bed.
I'm
So
gonna go to bed too, probably because it's 2:01.
Yeah. So thank you guys. Happy New Year to everybody.
New Year.
No more grenades. Flow State. I'm going to bed.